We're live. What's up, dude?
What's up?
How are you?
Good, you?
All right. Fucking allergies are kicking my ass a little bit, but other than that, it's going. We're doing.
Imagine yesterday watching. I didn't think I had allergies.
Yeah.
Was the after that? What was all itchy, burning?
Last night during brew review, I had to literally after every beer get up, blow my nose, and then come back, sit down, do the next beer because I just literally it was just like at one point I thought it was gonna start like running like a faucet.
That's what I said. You should probably wear a mask when you're power washing.
Masks though, I don't know. For me, it's just like with the mask, I just it's more of a pain in the ass, more of a hassle. I don't want to have to necessarily go and do all that, but I don't know. I'm getting old.
I didn't get to watch beer reviews. How was it?
Really good, man.
Yeah.
Really good. Those beers slapped. Every single one of them. I mean, they were and they were good in their own way, right? Like like the one that I remember is Sea Hag from New England. So Sea Hag from New England was really good because it was dank, right? It was like a very dank beer, right? It was hoppy, but it wasn't like hoppy in the sense of like there was too many hops. It was hoppy in the sense like the hops were very flavorful. They were very just strong. They were strong in what they were. That was a really cool beer. And then like I said, Headway was really good, and then I had two fucking fives in my opinion last night. The double innuation and critical mass, both from Counterweight. So Counterweight in Connecticut.
So can you get that beer here or no?
Nah, I've never seen any of their beer here. Now, maybe soon. Maybe I don't know. It's getting bigger and bigger. I don't know. But I don't know. It was really good, man. I actually really enjoyed it. I had such a good time with them.
They both doubles.
Yeah, I think so. They're not like super strong. I think those are in the eights. But they were just so I don't know. All I can say is they were really good, and I would love to drink them again. But I don't know. I thought it was really, and I was really just I don't know. I was all about it.
That was good.
So yep. So two, like I said, that came from two of my viewers. They had sent it over. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's I'll try it out. But I was like, I always tell people like, look, you can't get upset, and you can't take it personally if I don't like the beer, right? Because if I don't like it, it's not they didn't make the beer, right? They're not the ones that are like sitting there like Walter White and whatnot, like cooking this shit, right? Mm-hmm. It's just a beer that they like, but everybody has different taste buds. Everybody has different things. So for me personally, it's just like, well, whatever. If that's just my thing. So, but yeah, I mean, I told them they said they're gonna maybe send me more another time. I said, look, you set the bar really high because that was probably from a beer rating perspective, probably the best brewery. And the lowest rating was a 4.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and there was every single beer was awesome. And it was kind of cool because, like I said, you went on like this journey in a way. Like we went like on a trip because you start here and then would go to this beer, and that beer was good too, but it was good in its own way. And then and then you would go here, and then that was another good beer, but that was good for its own reason, right? Okay. They weren't like the two towards the end were very similar, but not like super like the same. But as the other ones, like you would have like one, and the what was it? I think it was Space. It was Space Coyote. Space Coyote was very sweet, not in like in a bad way or too much. It was just really good, but it was on the sweeter side. But then, like I said, Space Hag or Sea Hag was just like a very danky. It reminded me of like a Waldo's, which I don't know if you've ever had.
No, I never had.
We'll have to try to keep an eye out for. I mean, I have some still in the case over there, but I don't know if they're still good. They're like 2 years old. But they're just like a very dank hop beer, like Hemperer or Hopper. That's another good one.
So which one of your viewers?
That was T. Shea and Bums Rush. Yeah, so they're brothers. In Connecticut. Tyler he's been sending me snaps now for like the better part of like a year. Of just like it's just his beer. Like he'll send me like a picture of the beer next to the can poured. I'm like, oh man, that looks.
Yeah.
I was like, that looks really good, and and then the next thing you know, I would just be like, okay. I was like, you need to send that over, and he was just like, yeah, one day, and then the next thing you know, we would I would get the PO box, and then I said, oh, and then nothing ever got sent. So I used to break the ball, saying like, oh, you wanted the PO box, etc. And then you don't send anything.
Shit.
So when I got the PO box back, because everybody's like, oh, well, I would like to, especially with the whole brew review.
I think once you started that,
yeah,
because you had the PO box without that, right?
Yeah.
That's why I saw that. I want to watch you drink beers that they like live.
Yeah.
I can't believe we can't get that, and we're so close to Connecticut.
I don't know. I mean, look, it's like look,
we can get there in 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, maybe.
But look at. Well, no, I don't think it's that close. I think this one is like this is like near New Haven, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So, but look, it's like look at Tonewood. I mean, Tonewood's a Jersey beer. There's only one liquor store by us that has it. So it's crazy that even though it's live or it's nearby, or it's local, it doesn't mean that we're necessarily gonna gain access to it. But
it stinks because a lot of beers that you want to have you can't get. Even online, you can't order it.
I know, and that's the thing. That's why with the whole Heady Topper thing, I bought it. You know what I mean? Because I mean, granted, I spent a fair amount of money.
Yeah.
But you can't really get it.
Right.
So, it's tough. And then Bums is saying right now, a lot of those beers you can only get from the brewery itself. Yeah, that's true too. Remember, like when you went to Bolero?
Yeah, and there's a beer that they don't. I think it's.
Yeah,
it's on top. I think you can get it with a growler, but they don't.
Correct. So they have their little side things too, and that's the thing. So then, how do you know what I mean? How do you know even about that beer? Like, how do you don't even know if it exists because that's the problem, right?
Evil Twin, for example. A lot of beers.
Yeah.
We get a couple here. We don't get all of them. There's some beers that we can't get here.
I think that's what they do. I think that's when they, like I said, you take those and you put them. I don't know. I guess it's just because how sales are, right? So I think they just kind of look at the fact that they probably feel, hey, these are more of our flagship beers, if you will, and then that's where they'll put it out to. So they'll say, okay, look, these are our high sellers in this area. So let's try to kind of break ground with those. And I think that's why they do it.
There's a beer that I want you to try really bad. I told you, Evil Twin, but I can't find it here. The only place that has it is Plain Pizza, which is us.
Yeah, so, and that's what I'm saying. So,
that's where you had your meetup.
Yeah, that's where I've had 2 meetups now. I had both my meetups that I was kind of planning and organizing. I had it there. Why? Because you're kind of known for beer and stuff. Go where you're going to have a wide range. And I mean,
food's great, too.
Food is good. It's, it's bar food, but it's good food. It's like, they do their own take on like flatbread pizzas and all that other stuff. But my whole thing is it's the beer selection. I don't think there's a bar nearby that could touch their beer selection in the sense of just even variety. You know what I mean? They got like 30 beers on tap at a given point, right? And then you have the whole wall of just beer fridges. They have all just different.
How many taps do you think? 30?
I would say about 30. I would say that it's probably close to 30, maybe like 20 some odd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I want to learn. You have to show me with the growler thing.
Okay.
Because you told me it doesn't last long.
It doesn't. Well, that's because you got to remember. So when you get your beer, right, you get your beer in 3 ways, right? Egg, bottle, can.
Correct.
Right? So cans and bottles tend to have a little bit more preservative in it, right, to keep it fresh on the shelf. And it's usually pasteurized. That's why with Heady Topper and stuff like that, they're unpasteurized. So they're saying, drink this shit now. Like you don't age a Heady Topper. You just don't. Because it's just and I talked about this last night too on Brew Review, it's not that the beer necessarily goes bad. You just miss the window of where they think it tastes the best. Like I got a Heady Topper sent to me one time. This was the first time I ever had it. It came warm. They don't even ship warm. From the moment Heady Topper makes their beer, it's in the can and everything like that, and it's ready where it can be chilled. It's chilled, and it's kept that way the entire time. Really? Shipped cold. It has on the cap, there it says, store cold. Always keep it cold, etc. So with that, that's why those beers are always just kind of just done cold and everything like that. They do that because they're not pasteurized. So that's why. But then there's beers like the 120, right? The 120 from Dogfish Head, right? I think you never had a 120. You can get it. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those beers you can get. But it's a strong beer. I think 120 is like 12-13%. I think it's, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. But let us know in the comments section below, by the way, if on YouTube. Wrong. I'm never wrong. Not a stout? I might be wrong. No, it's a I think it's a double IPA. I don't think it's a triple. I think it's a double. I could be wrong. I gotta look this up now. I cannot go spewing fallacies. 120 min IPA. All right, so it is a Holy Grail. All right. Oh, okay. So I'm not wrong. I am not wrong. In fact, hold on. I am not wrong. Clocking in at 15 to 20.
Enjoyable though, or is it just?
I really like it. It's like my second favorite minute series. Yeah. This is, I guess at that point it has to be a triple. I've never heard of a double that fucking that just chills like that.
How's that possible? Because from Cape May was only 10%.
But I've had singles that are weighing in at 9. And,
really?
Yeah, and then like even some of the beers we had the other night where they were like that. So Mac, Morning After Kill, saying out here, and he's saying, like Miller Lite. Yeah, that's right, dude. Just like that, bud. Yeah. Just like a Miller Lite. So they're calling this an Imperial IPA. I think it's a double. I do think it's a double. It is only a special release. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think it was. But apparently it was. I think with this, like I said, it's from September to December. It ranges from 15 to 20. The IBU is the 120. So it's that right there is letting you know it's a danky. And that's why I said if you enjoy it, or if you like that kind of beer, you're gonna love it. So Dogfish does like a 60, they do a 90, they do a 120, they do a 75. The 75 is kind of new. Me personally, it goes probably it's close between the 60 and the 120. They kind of flirt with like one another. Certain times I prefer the 120, certain times I prefer the 60. The 60 is not that strong. 60 is kind of like that's kind of like Dogfish Head's like kind of like IPA, if you will. You know what I mean? You can get it all year round. You can do all that stuff. The 90 minute is also a little, but I think the flavor and whatnot in the 90, I'm just not a big fan. So, and then there's 75. So I personally would say like it's either 60 or 120, depending on it, followed by the 75, followed by the 90. I think the 90 is the worst out of the group, but that's just me.
So when you have a growler, you got to drink it.
You got to drink it that day or within like a few days. And the reason for that is because you're taking that from a keg. Right? So when you have a keg, right, the keg is kept cold, all this stuff, right? It's also got CO2 that's doing the delivery, right?
Correct.
So when the keg gets tapped, right, what's happening is as you tap it, it's introduced to oxygen. So now you have to wait, right? Or not wait, but now you have like you kind of like start the clock. Right. That's what I say with a keg. You got to try to empty that keg. You usually within like I don't know 45 days. Like I usually say like a month and a half. You got to probably like if, like my kegerator over there. If I put a keg in there, I probably got about a month to try to tap it in. Which is why I don't necessarily do.
Those are half kegs, right?
Well, so that I can put one.
No, but when you get an IPA, you get a half keg. Expensive as well.
I get a sixtel. So what I do is I get those kind of like they're like a keg like this. They're about yay tall, and I can put like I could in there. I could put like 2 or 3 if I want. It is a dual tap. That's why I have it.
All right.
The problem is this: is I was kind of as I learned as more and more. It was nice to have beer and have like a tap. It's cool. The problem is this: I like variety. I like variety in everything but my wife. You know what I mean? But my wife is my wife. But like I get tired of cars. I get tired of video games. Right. I get tired of you. You know. So, but I was saying.
No, I see what you say. That's why you have a variety back there. Yeah. You might want a Stone Cold beer and then be like, oh no, I want a 1985.
Correct.
Next.
So with that, it's tough, right? So that's why I always say, you know, the kegerator, I love it. You know, it's a cool thing to have. The problem is though, is now you're drinking the same beer or the same 2 beers for the next like 45 days.
Oh, and is it more expensive? How much is it?
They're cheap.
Really?
Yeah. I can get I got a sixtel. I got a sixtel of resin, which I was surprised that resin tastes better in
untapped and.
Yeah, I actually like it in the can better.
Really?
It's just one of those things, and I like tap. I like draft beer. I do, but I just think resin's just better in a can. But with that, like I said, when it came to the beer in there, sixtel of resin was probably like $90.
Really, and how many beers come in?
About say like 70. Yeah, but I'm saying it's about 70 beers because you think about it, you get it's like 50 something pints.
Where were you getting it from? Bottle keg?
Oh, it was bottle keg, yeah.
Really?
So what happened is I would go.
That'd be a special order, probably.
Yeah, and I would just tell I said, you know, and because I know them there now, and like Andy, I said, hey, look, I want you get me resin. And like, yeah, we'll talk to our distributor. And then what they do is they get, I put the little deposit down. Right. So they see I'm serious, and then they come back and they say, okay, it's in. So I say, cool, perfect. Let's do it. So, and then that's what I mean, I don't know. But like I said, I thought it was better in can. I was kind of disappointed when I got the resin.
Really?
Yeah. So. But yeah, with the growler, like I said, when you do it, it's tough, man. And then, Bums Rush, who's
how many beers in a standard? If I want to buy like a nice size growler, how many? 8.
I mean, I guess it depends on the size you get, right? So, the
ones you have a growler.
Yeah, but I don't. That one was probably Yeah, I'd probably say like 6 to 8 beers, not pints, but like 6 to 8, beers. I'll tell you what. The only reason why I have that growler is because at my cousin's wedding, the night before we did like the kind of like the rehearsal dinner thing, and they did it at their buddy's house in which they were getting married at. So they did that there, and what we ended up doing was we got we had like food and catered and whatnot. His buddy worked at a liquor store. But their liquor store is more like the Buy Right by Us or the one up in what's it called? The Ridgefield. So where they have that one has a special license. They have like a triple license. They have like the ability to sell. They have the ability to you can go and like fill your growler.
Yeah.
So you need a different license for that. At least I don't know if that's an everywhere thing or a Jersey thing. Like there's different classifications of like liquor licenses. Right. So you can have a liquor license that will let you sell beer, like you could buy beer. Then there's a different type of liquor license to be like a bar. right, where you can go in and consume beer.
There's different
Yeah.
I think it's called grades of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's some liquor stores that in our town that have such a special license that grandfathered in that sell bottles of liquor.
Yeah.
Not just only beer. You can walk in and get a handle of Tito's or whatever.
So with that, you can do all those things, and like I said, this one buy right by us does that. They do this thing where they can do whatever and whatnot. So my mother's here right now to give me tissues. Thanks.
There's a box of
I appreciate it. Thanks, Mom. Like I said, my allergies are killing me. Yeah.
See you later.
Thanks.
In an hour.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. So, with that, like I said, that was something different. But I don't know. I think, like I said, I think like I said, I think I got like probably like I don't know, like out of it. I don't remember. I got so
So
drunk.
Mom said 64-ounce growler.
With 16 ounce beer.
beer.
Well, that is true.
Well, I guess if it's strong enough. Good.
Yeah, but again, like I said, they have like these crazy growlers that you can like cap off, and it's got like a fucking like a feeder.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you can
I
get
wonder if
crazy
they make
growlers.
a growler that can hold beer good for a couple days.
Well, he was also saying there's growlers that if sealed properly, it can last up to like a week. So my thing is this: everything is oxidized, right? It's like a perfect example. Crack a beer open, pour it in your glass, right? Sip on it for a little bit. Even if you put it back in the fridge and leave it there for, whatever, an hour, and go back, it's flat. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm just not look. For me, if I'm doing a growler, it's I'm going somewhere, right? I'm gonna consume it that day, right? And I have to find a beer that maybe there's some beers that don't come in can form, or there's some beers that maybe we don't necessarily have access to, but they for whatever reason have it on draft as like a special thing. That's it. Otherwise, I'm buying a damn can. I'm buying a 6-pack or whatever. You know what I mean? For me, I feel like growlers. If you're going somewhere to growler, you're an attention hog. You just want people to be like, yo, what the fuck are you like? Why are you pulling that out of like? Why are you pouring that out of like a fucking a sack? Like, oh, you mean my growler? Yeah, I don't know. I don't do
there was
the
a
growler.
website like ones that say Ever or
Tabber, yeah. So we did the special
Like-
sponsor thing with Tabber, yeah.
is there a company out there that I could say, listen, we want, let's just say, heavy topper and not here? I can call them and they get it for you and then us.
It's called beer trading. But the problem with this,
Yeah, but that's with an individual, right?
yeah. The problem with this, with something like that, is this again. And I'm using heady topper, right? Heady toppers is difficult because heady toppers got to stay cold. So any delivery service or whatnot that's going to try to do that, they now have to try to keep it cold. So now you're talking extra manpower. It's the costs go up, right? Because to ship something where you don't have to worry about temperature, right? And then something where you have to worry about it going cold. I mean, or where you have to keep it cold, it's different.
I'm just wondering, like, even like the beers you had last night, websites, so and so beer or whatever, they we can't get it here, but they find a way to get it to them to ship it to us.
I think right now the cost would be so astronomical, and the other thing is too is like think about how many breweries are in the country. You know what I mean?
Now-
So now you got you know what I mean?
IPAs wasn't as big a couple of years ago.
IPAs have gotten big. I want to say like over probably like the last like 10 years. It's more. It's not even just IPAs. I think it's just craft beer. I think people were getting tired of just big beer, and I call big beer like Anheuser-Busch stuff like that. Because there was nothing new or innovative or creative coming out. It was like Bud Light,
Right.
or Bud Light Lime,
Bud Light
or
Lime, yeah.
Bud Light Lemon, or Bud Light Orange.
Or Bud
No,
Light
it's
Platinum,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean. You get some B plats. There you go. Nobody was really doing anything. The thing about craft beers, I mean, and again, I'm an IPA guy. You're an IPA guy, but
I became one. I wasn't really a big fan of it. That's why I got the Stone Cold beer. My wife got it for me on our 2nd anniversary. Had it.
Wait. So, second anniversary, isn't tomorrow your 1 year?
Yes, tomorrow is my 1 year.
1 year what?
Marriage. That's when we just started dating our second. bought me it. I really didn't like it, and I had it recently with you. It was like
What?
6-7 months ago. The Stone Cold like Broken Skull.
Oh.
Had it. I love it. It's probably one of my top 5 beers.
Yeah. Well, what a perfect segue. Because happy anniversary. That's from your wife. That's why your wife Venmo'd me yesterday.
I figured that.
We had Focal Banger on Friday, and we were, first time we both ever had it. So we did kind of like a mini brew review Friday night on my Twitch channel, and so we had it, and he was all for it. So she was trying to get another beer that we had from a while ago, but I think it's just such a limited release that we couldn't get it. So I tried, she tried, she even tried pulling like it's our anniversary card with this brewery. It didn't go.
Was it the Cape?
Yeah. So after
they
our
don't really respond to the emails very well.
But it's not just them. I think it's just breweries in general, man. I think it's a weird kind of market, right? They just kind of like, we make beer, people buy beer, people enjoy it. Oh, there you go. She's watching you.
Thank you.
So
I love you, honey.
Yeah. So so what I do is obviously I got you a 4 of the Focal, and then I got another 4 of Hetty and El Segundo for the Broken Skull, and I figured I'd do 2 and 2.
Thank you, man.
And then there you go. And then so
I appreciate it.
So she
It's
wanted
1 year Monday. Marriage is great when you marry your best friend.
Yeah. So these are yours to have whenever.
Oh, thank you.
Problem was she wanted me to get it warm, and I said, well, the problem is you can't buy these warm. I said they gotta.
I figured something was up because you guys did it like weirdly. Because you guys were like,
well, that's your wife. I mean, that's your wife going like,
no, because when she owes somebody money,
I'm like,
when she owes somebody money, it bothers her like to no end. She wants to make sure you get the money that you put out for somebody. Thank you, I really.
So she's like, oh, I need you to get it warm. I said, yeah, that's going to be a problem. I said, the Stone Cold I can get warm. Yeah. I said, I can't get Hetty and Focal warm. They ship cold. So then yesterday I said to her, I said, how do you want to do this? I said, are you like, because with your anniversary being tomorrow,
yeah.
I said, how are we gonna do this on Monday? And she's like, he's coming over for the podcast. Just give it to him there. I said, yeah. And she was like, yeah. So then I'm telling Jen, and she's like, wait, you're gonna give Brian beer from his wife for their anniversary without her being there? I said, that's not my idea. I said,
if I know my wife, that's not my only gift.
Yeah, well, I think that's true too. So what I was saying is, I said, babe, it's beer. It's just it's a nice gesture that she wanted to give him. So whatever. And then she's like, do you drink on this podcast? I said, well, I do. I said, but I do it like towards the tail end.
Yeah.
Or if I'm hurting. I'm not hurting from last night. All the beers I had last night, I think with the amount of sleep plus water,
yeah,
I feel great. My eyes are just itchy. And that's because of the allergy, yeah.
Take your medicine when you get up right away, I don't know.
I gotta wait till night.
Why is that?
24 hour.
Really? See, I think you need to look into a better one. No, because I've known people that take it every 4 hours. There's some people that they go to their doctor and they get a shot and it helps them out dramatically.
I think the thing is too is it depends. Like there's Claritin that I used to take Claritin and that was 12 hour.
Right.
I think Claritin D 24 hour works better.
Really?
I just didn't get the Claritin because Claritin was sold out. I didn't want to be in the CVS because of the pandemic and everything, so I want to get in and out. And then Ian said that he takes that like XYZ one, so I got the XYZ one, and I was just like, all right. Look, the problem is it's my own fault. I take my allergy medicine, start feeling better, stop taking my allergy medicine, and then I'm good. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, power washing all that moss off the retaining wall, and it's just like,
fucking bad.
And then that was it.
And I don't have allergies, and I felt it when I left. I went to my wife. I said, listen, my throat's slowly. Then I kept coughing in your backyard, and I'm like, I'm a smoker, but I didn't smoke that many cigarettes yesterday. I actually slowed down. Maybe I only had a whole pack yesterday. No, not even close. I've never smoked the whole packet. No, actually,
I was gonna say I think that's a lie.
Yeah.
I think
drinking.
I was gonna say
because we went to Lowe's yesterday. Got a little date.
Yeah, we did. I bought a planer. It's great. I can't wait to use it. I got a benchtop planer. I am like beyond myself right now. I'm thinking in my head of like all the different things I can make now. And like how I could take wood and really just friggin' like even it all out, take any of like the curve out of it. Oh man, I'm so excited. I can't.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was. It was like
find
a
an
madhouse.
associate. It took us like we were there for like an hour and a half. We didn't realize how long we were there.
Yeah, yeah.
And we only went in to get the planer, mulch, and fucking the hose, the sprinkler.
Yeah, and a bug zapper.
And a bug zapper. Yeah.
And everything else we bought there, we're not going to talk about. So
I avoided that.
Yeah, I don't care. It's fine. So anyway, like I said, we spent like a good half hour.
Yeah, just looking at tools.
Just trying to freaking get somebody to help us because the tool that I got was on a shelf, and they won't let you use the stairs and shit.
Right.
So I had to wait, and then the guy forgot about me, and then he ended up helping like 4 other couples. I was like, hey, oh, sorry. I was like, it's all right.
And then we found the bug zapper, but
the bug zapper was free. It was like the tall shelf.
So now we had to find this poor guy and this poor older gentleman. Had to go across the store to get the lift, get on the lift, bring it up, push the lift all the way over, get it in the corner, go up.
It was
a process.
It was.
But it was mob because everybody now is able to go. They're not counting 25 people coming to a store. So now people are just cluttering in all the stores.
I mean, which is whatever. It is what it is. I mean, I still have my mask. You still have yours. But correct. I just thought it was crazy. Like, people were just like, yo, I don't care. I'm going balls to the wall on this. I said, all right. Whatever you want to do. But I'm hoping to get some time after we're done shooting this episode today to go work on the workbench. Try to at least maybe get the top secured down, cut, ripped, all that. And then what happens, take it from there, and then really we're almost done with it, which I'm excited for. It's gonna be a lot more content than I'm gonna be doing once it's done. I was trying to do the whole filming of building and all that, and like I said, I am like an amateur woodworker at best. You know what I mean? I can do a lot of things. I can build a lot of things, but the way I do it may not be the most efficient, may not be the fastest.
I think the problem is you care about what's out there. You're more worried about, like, okay, what's chat saying? Look, so now you're stopping. And then you're getting the groove and you're like, listen, I don't have time I don't want to explain every little step.
Yeah.
So just free watch, but then you get caught up in certain things. You wouldn't like that. So,
I think that's fair. I do think it's partially that too. It takes a lot to set up for that too.
Correct.
Getting the cameras, and I got to get 2 cameras going, right?
Yeah.
Because I got the camera on my phone, then I'm using to stream it, then I'm using the Panasonic over here to film it,
correct,
to bring it back, to chop it up, to edit it. Next thing you know, I'm forgetting that right now I think the camera intervals are set to like 20 minutes or something like that. So it records for 20 minutes and then it stops. And I keep saying, oh, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to fix it, I'm going to look into it, and then I'm do it anyway. So
I think if you're going to do what'd you call it? What was the episodes? What did they call
craft beer.
If you do something like that, it should be a project that maybe is like 2 episodes. Be able to do it fast. Like back in wood shop in high school, be able to make something in 3 periods.
Well,
and then it keeps people interested. It's not a killer for you that you need 700 tools to do this one thing.
Yeah.
But you'll have the cart, so you'll be good.
And that's what I think. And that's where I see myself going. The other thing too is like with all the work that's going to be coming to the house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'll do a lot of filming of that because I think that will also.
Yeah, but you could do like at stage. You're not gonna do like a massive we're gonna sheet wreck the whole room and we're gonna go live. All right.
I'm just gonna throw the phone up and I told them straight up. I said what I'll do is I have my old iPhone.
Right.
So this one will be my camera.
Yeah. And
I'll just put it somewhere.
Okay.
And then what I'm gonna do is they have like this wrist mount where you can kind of put your phone and hold it. It's like for like when you're running and stuff.
Yeah, and that's how you'll be able to reach it.
And that's how I'm gonna be able to reach out. So I don't have to stop.
Yeah.
I could just be like, hey, what's up, dude? I just keep going.
Okay.
And like I said, it's for me to work. It's people who want to kind of see that, maybe see how I do things. Like I said, everybody. The thing is this, though. When I built my desk, I kind of I streamed it, but I streamed it Nah, it was kind of like low grade quality because I was actually streaming from my phone
Huh?
I kept dropping frames. The video was very choppy. It's not like how when I do now because I bought new software that allows me to beam the image from my phone right to the streaming rig.
Like how we
So
do
I was
Fireside,
streaming from my phone. Like,
okay.
like the camera, the microphone, the software, all of it was just on this phone.
That's
only.
a lot for.
It was lower quality than what I wanted. This is higher quality when I do this now,
okay.
because all this is just video and audio. Everything is being handled by the computer now.
Yeah.
So when I did that, I spent so much more time trying to do that, and then chat was like, you know, and I'm like,
yeah,
they can't understand, and then they're just like, dude, it's so choppy, it's so this. So I said, all right, fine, you know, I'll fix it. So now, with that, it'll be easy for me to do that. But when I was even doing my desk, though, I got so much shit from people coming in. Oh, why is he doing it this way? I would do it that way. And the thing is this: everybody does their own way. You know what I mean? And it doesn't make it wrong. It's just like the guy was like, he doesn't need that many pocket screws. This one was like, oh, he's not using enough glue. I wouldn't even use glue.
Listen,
I wouldn't even use screws. And it's just like, all right, whatever. So, and that's
there's always a different way you could do it.
Yeah, you know, it's like when my mom's boyfriend, got rest his soul, he would come over after I did something. He'd be like, I don't like it. I'm like, what? He's like, I don't like it. I said, what don't you like? He's like, I don't like it. So I would have did different. I said, and then he'll do something, and I'm like, why'd you do that? And he's like, well, I was like, you come over and give me shit, and then you do something like this, you know. And then when his son came over a couple months ago to help me with the water heater, because we did it together, he's looking, he goes, my dad did this? I said, yeah. He goes, what he would do to me, had I have done this, you know what I mean? He goes, he would have given me so much shit. He goes, but my dad can do that?
Yeah.
I said, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. That's like my dad. He's not mechanically inclined. Anything like home repair or anything.
Yeah.
So I'll come and do it, and he'll have an opinion like, I would have done it this way. Well, if you fucking wanted to do it that way, why didn't you do it yourself?
We don't. I don't. There's like a name for that, right? It's like I'm trying to think what the name is. And it's not like an actual term. It's what I call like assholes. So you have asshole and then you have asshole. An asshole, in my opinion, is somebody who goes, hey, can I ask you something? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got this bump on my balls. It like hurts. And it's like, well, maybe it's like an ingrown hair or something. Nah, it's not that. Well, nah. It's like, what the fuck are you asking me for then?
Yeah,
like,
all right.
Go scratch, dude. Like why? Like,
don't fucking ask me if you don't want my opinion.
Yeah, and I always say, my bad. I always said, I said, then don't ask me. You know, it's like, or anything. Like, what do you think about this car? I think it's a little expensive. I wouldn't maybe spend the money. I'm like,
yeah.
Then you obviously don't care for what my actual opinion is on this. So don't ask me.
Then you got to be careful with some people. Real hurt. Then your opinion now it's turns into an argument.
Well, yeah, or it's like S4. You know, it's like S4 conversations. He gets so upset. He does. He's just like he regrets that night. I love it. Yeah, so I don't mess around with that. Like, in that sense, it's just like, all right, dude, go ask somebody else. But that's the same thing. Like when you have those people that come like, I would have done it. You could literally do it. And the way I work is like, I don't know about you. When I don't know something, it's all right. When I don't know something, what I do is I go on like YouTube. And what I do is from there is I go and let's say I'll read up on something, like, or I'll watch something on YouTube. Like it could be spackling, right? Okay. When I didn't know how to spackle, I would go and watch 3 to 5 videos, different people.
Yes, that's what YouTube's great about.
Yeah, well, that's the age, the age that we're
help,
in.
I bought a new weed whacker, and it was weird the way the loader was from my old one.
Uh-huh.
I looked on YouTube, 30 seconds, I was able to do it.
Okay,
so it's very fast.
So I think for me personally, what it is I think when you take the day and age that we're in, like the thirst for knowledge. I think there's no better era than now to enlighten yourself in anything. You know what I mean? You could learn whatever you want. It's do you just care enough to go out there? So with that, what I do is I'll say, okay, I'll go and do these things, and then I'll watch the video. So or I'll watch the video and then I'll go do these things. So like I'll go on YouTube, I'll watch backlink, I'll watch a video here, 5-10 minutes. Then I'll watch another person, 5-10 minutes. I'll watch another one, 5-10 minutes. And then what I do is I take those.
Pull a little bit from every video you watch.
Well, so basically what I do is I try to find where they have common ground, right? So they might say you should lay your sheetrock horizontal, so that you only have one seam across the middle, and at the sides, and maybe one at the top, depending if you're doing a drop ceiling. If you're doing a drop ceiling, don't worry about the top, because you're not going to see it anyways. So, but if you do boards vertically, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Depending on how long. 4 feet. Yeah. So, and then you have to worry if one cracks, blah blah blah. You then get a crack here. Maybe you're going to get a crack here. You're going to maybe get a crack here, because anywhere where there's spackle, you can have a crack, right? Yeah. Whereas if you just do it this way, sure, it might crack or bubble, but it's only going to do it right there. You peel it off, you redo it.
You railroaded your boards in.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. So with that, I don't know. That's how I look at it. I think that like in that day and age, you can do anything you want. Yeah. But what I take is I take where are they common? Now this guy might say, I like to add water to my spackle. This guy or girl might say, I like to open up my spackle bucket and let it sit for 15 minutes. Yeah. Then this person might say, I like to mix the spackle like the bin says, and because it lets the water that's in it kind of get around a little bit more, try to take some of the air out, whatever, right? Yeah. So now what I'm saying is I got 2 people that said a little bit on the wetter side, where somebody said drier. Yeah. I'm going to kind of more align with that just because of majority. You know what I mean? And then I kind of learn from there. And then as I go, I learn my own way of doing things. So,
let's talk in YouTube. I have a question for you. I always wonder.
Mm-hmm.
What? I know you were on Twitch for how long now? 5 years? 6 years?
I've been on Twitch now 5.5 years.
So what brought you to Twitch? It had to be someone that you saw like, wow, this content's really good. Maybe I could do something that way.
Yeah, so for me, what I did was I was home one day, and I had back then I was playing a game called Destiny on Xbox, and basically Microsoft had kind of like this like panel. So when you go over panels, right, and you go over this other one, they were showing Twitch. Now I didn't know what Twitch was. I knew YouTube, but I didn't know what Twitch was, and I put it on, and next thing you know, I saw this guy called King Gathalion. Or Gathalion now, or I guess it depends on which thing you're looking at, but I think it's still King Gathalion. And he was at the time he was a Twitch streamer. He's now moved over to Mixer, and I was watching him, and I just remember it was like I don't know, it was like a Saturday. Jen was at work. I was bored. It was winter. I was kind of blue, because it was just nothing to do. We didn't have kids yet. So I just put it on, and next thing you know, I'm sitting there, and it's like 2 hours later, and I'm like laughing, and I got like this grin on my face, and I'm like, holy shit, I've been watching for 2 hours? Yeah. So then I got into it, and then, and I started watching more and stuff like that, and then I saw he had this alert where, I'll never forget, it was 2 Guiles from Street Fighter. Okay. And they were like sonic booming each other, and they had the person's name in like a big print on it. And I was like, oh, that was really cool. And I followed, and I was waiting for it, and I'm like, what the hell is my name? And I'm like waiting, and I'm like, unfollow. Follow again. Because I didn't know Twitch yet. I was like, yo, why the hell isn't my name popping up? So it turned out, that's when I found out you can make money doing this. And it was a subscriber. And I'm like, oh, what's a subscriber? And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, $5?
Hold on, so you subbed to somebody before you ever became a streamer?
Yeah. So I subbed to him, and I was just like, hey, there it is. I was like, cool, you know what I mean? Like good job. And And then I subbed to him, and I was like, for $5, I looked at it like a almost like a street performer, right?
Yeah.
You see these street performers, and they're doing their thing. You know, you throw them a couple bucks or whatever, you know, and if you like that kind of content, so you know, I looked at it, it was like $5. You know, that's like a cup of Johann.
Yeah, that's nothing.
So I said for $5, I said fine, you know, like whatever. So I did that, and then I started watching more and more, and I started watching him. I want to say it was somewhere around December. So I'm watching and whatnot, and my wife would always be like, "What are you doing?" Because I started watching less TV and started watching more Twitch on my phone. So then all of a sudden, she was like, "What is that?" And I said, "Oh," and you know, one time, you know, I started talking, and I was talking with my buddy Travis, and we were talking about maybe starting like a channel, not necessarily together, but like our own, and try to help one another kind of grow. So I started thinking about like what I could do and all that, and then I said, "Oh, well, I need this, and I already have the gaming PC and everything else." I said, "I need a camera, I need a microphone, and that's it."
Shit's not cheap back then.
Well, I mean, look, the microphone I have now is not the same microphone that, you know.
Oh, you probably went off the head.
No, I had this little. It was like a I can't remember who made it. It was like this. It looked like a 1960s like microphone.
Yeah.
That style, and it had these three little legs. It had no noise gate or anything. It had no it had no features. It was just a USB mic. So I used to do this. So if this was the mic, I would put my hat over it.
Yeah.
Because that would help get rid of all the white noise in the background,
Really?
the shh, because it was so sensitive. And it worked. It was like my screen, you know, and I did that. Like now I have like pop filter stuff. We have all this different tech when it works. You know, but yeah, that's what I did. And then I bought like a C920, which is like the streamer. It's that camera actually. It's the camera right there in the beer can back there. That's the same. Yep, that's the same camera. Take it easy.
So then you decided to go and say, "Listen, I'm gonna try."
Yeah. So I put it all together. I started streaming from my Xbox. The Xbox.
You didn't have your PC yet.
I did. I just didn't have I didn't get the camera and stuff yet. So what I did was I was playing Destiny. I said, all right. I put my Kinect out right with the camera because you could stream right from your console, and that's how I started streaming. I got into it from there, and then you know as time progressed and you know my audience grew and my brand, I started to figure out what a brand was, what my brand was going to be.
Your first sub guy was Larry, right?
Yeah, so Lars, who's watching right now live, because we're also live on Twitch when we shoot this. For those of you watching it on YouTube, twitch.tv/ probably over 9,000. So yeah, so when we got partnered, we had tried a couple times, got denied. I got the email in the morning. I reached out to two people through my stream. I said, I think I just got partnered.
I'm confused now. I don't understand. I'm sorry to cut you off. You could just stream on Twitch, but you have to be partnered?
No. So, okay. So there's a couple ways to make money on Twitch, right? If that's, you know, something that, you know, you care about. Some people just, I do it for fun. Look, I do it for fun too. I love doing it. But look, money's nice too. You know
100%.
what I mean? So what happened was, so when you stream, right? When you stream back then, things are different now. Twitch is a very money hungry beast. Don't let it fool you. So back when I first started streaming, you were partnered or unpartnered. That was it. To be partnered means you get what's called a subscription button. So everybody calls things differently, right? Subscribers on YouTube, right, are free. It's correct. When you subscribe, it's following.
It's doing.
Yeah. So basically, when you subscribe to a channel, you click the bell or whatever. You know,
notifications.
Yeah, and then you subscribe, and then you turn on notifications, all that other stuff, right? So so that's free. That's what YouTube calls it. They call that subscribers, but you're not really subscribing in the sense of like payment. You're just subscribing to that channel's activity, and then you can turn on notifications, so you can click the bell and all this other stuff. All right. So Twitch, they call that follows. So you click the heart, you followed or whatever, great. So you're in, blah, blah, blah. Twitch now has what they call subscribers. So when you get partnered, right, You have to
Yes.
meet certain criteria, which for everybody the criteria is always. And then what that is you basically get a subscription button. Back then you only had what's called now it's called a tier 1. Back then it was just your sub, which was $4.99. Twitch gets their cut, you get your cut. Everybody, there's the basic contract, and other people can have all different contracts.
Yeah.
So that's how you get money, right? The only way when you're not a partner to make money would be tips. Okay. So somebody tips you or whatever, right?
Okay, yeah.
So that's what it is. So basically, Twitch does that, and then now you have tier 1, 2, and 3. $4.99, $9.99, $24.99, or Prime, which is if you have Amazon Prime, it's connected to your Twitch account. Correct. You get 1 free sub every month, and the streamer gets paid. Unlike if somebody was to do the $4.99.
All right, so being partner is big.
Well, I mean, look, yes and no. I mean, look, I got partnered.
How long did it take you to get partnered? A year?
14 months. Yeah,
a
little over a year. But everybody's different, right? I know people who have been streaming for years and haven't gotten partnered.
Really?
I know people who streamed for months and got partnered. The thing is this too. There's
your content, Brian.
Well, it's your content. A lot of it's luck too. A lot of it's right place, right time for an opportunity. Boom. The other thing though is you got to take into consideration too is there's kind of loopholes, right? I know people who got partnered because they were on an esports, and Twitch is like, you can have a button. Getting a button doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna make money.
I mean, people are gonna watch you.
Yeah.
You gotta have good content.
So now what they did is they changed it. Now they have what's called affiliates. So now you can be a partner or you can be an affiliate. Now affiliates, I think it's way too easy. Long story short is you have like 4 or 5 viewers, you can get a sub button. The only difference now between the two is like how Twitch handles the fees and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like partners don't necessarily have to pay for the transaction fee. Affiliates do. Twitch streamers, you get X amount of emote slots based off of how many your highest ever sub count. I think affiliates cap out. It doesn't matter. They could have the same amount of subs as me, and they'll still only have like 5 emotes. So you get like those types of things. So though there are some differences, but that line that used to be has become very blurred more and more.
I see less and less gameplay, whole platform.
I think just
you see more and more people doing like
what we're doing right now.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Or watching a show with somebody.
Yeah, I think IRL there's a hunger for that kind of content. People like the personability. I think they like the interaction. I think it's just kind of different, but I also think you have to find like a happy medium, or at least that's what I feel like I have to do. As of late, I've been doing more and more IRL, kind of just shooting the shit, and then I'm doing less gaming. But I also I enjoy gaming, so I'm just trying to find that kind of blend. Medium. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's how I got into it. Yeah, I got into it just by watching somebody else. I was like, oh, I'd like to do this.
You still sub to him or no?
Well, he's not on Twitch anymore.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you told
me.
But
I stayed sub to him to the very end. Yep. He actually tried to go to bat for me when I was trying to get partnered. This same guy. We ended up for a while like linking up and talking here and there. We don't really talk anymore. But back then, it was.
That's good. That's a good guy to see somebody in the community that Ryan.
Oh yeah. I mean, he did a lot for the community. But when the game changed, that kind of structure changed too, and then the community kind of loaded in ways, in my opinion. But I don't play the game anymore, so it's all right. At least I don't play it. As of this broadcast, who knows? You might be watching this.
You should come back and
a year from now.
Play the game that made you.
Every so often, but the problem is, like I always say, I could go play that.
How
game.
Bad could it have gotten? Let's be honest. How bad could it have gotten?
I mean, yeah, it got bad, dude. It's like I said, I say this all the time. Could I go play Destiny right now for today and have a good time? Sure, I'll find something to do. Could I go play Destiny for today and tomorrow and have a good time? Yeah, I could probably do it for almost like a week. But then after a week, I'm sitting there and I'm going like this, like, what am I fucking doing here? Like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I putting myself through this again? The reason is the content dries up really quick. Some of it's very repetitive. The things that I truly liked about Destiny in the first one aren't the same today. Things like the PvP side. I love shooting people digitally. Like I like going against a brain and not a computer. So what I'm saying is like I would rather play against actual people than play against AI because I don't care. You can try to make it as smart as you want in terms of video games. They all have the same kind of like base coding. If they're programmed to shoot behind cover, then all you're gonna do is just wait for a peek. All right, that one's that. If they're aggressive, okay, you might have to just rain friggin' like something that does heavy amount of damage. Maybe it's not as fast, or if you can get heavy damage that is fast, even better. And then you have the ones that are just gonna kind of just like peek out. They're like the stormtroopers, right? They're not gonna maybe hit you, a couple of shots, whatever, and then that's it. So to me, it's kind of like it's always like the same base mapping. Humans are different, right? Some humans like to peek 3 times. And you shouldn't. But I'll peek 3 times and be like, damn it, I got killed. Well, no shit. You peeked 3 times. You should have repositioned yourself. But I want that snipe that bad. I'm going to screw it up. Then you have the people that are like, we call them apes. They're the ones that just come, just trucking along towards you, and they're just going to try to jump you. It's like if King Kong started running towards you. You're just like, oh man. We call that when they're hyper aggressive fast, and maybe they do what's called like slide shotgunning. Right? And basically what they do is they slide, so their character does this, and they have the shotgun ready, and they just pull. So they try to close the gap so that they can close that and then hit you with, kind of like spray damage. They're not going for a precision shot, they're going for like a, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Something that's going to take you out. But I think with that, it's hard. So, and that's what happened. I love the PvP side. I think they get the PvP in a good spot for those who enjoy PvP, but then the base, right? What happens is the player base starts to cry. Maybe it's the people that aren't as skilled. They go, oh, and then they change it, and then it screw it all up. Like hand cannons. They were in such a great place for a while. Hand cannons are just pistols, right? They were in such a great spot where if you were accurate, you were rewarded. You could go and play, and maybe you've never played that game before, and you're not going to have that shot, right? So
Is it like a Call of Duty?
Yeah, it's a first-person shooter. It's more like, so it's made by the company that made Halo.
Oh, okay.
So Bungie, who created Halo, they ended up selling it later off, so they don't make it anymore. They took Halo with that kind of gameplay, right, or gunplay, and they added abilities to it. Some people, Ray, right? So Ray is a buddy of ours. He would love that. He says if they could just get rid of abilities altogether, he goes, I think it's actually from a gunplay perspective, it's some of the best in the business right now. Problem is you have all these different abilities, solar nades, this, all these different things, right? But what they do is they keep messing with the weaponry. And when they mess with the weaponry in terms of like how good or bad that is, they shift the meta. For a while, when I went back and I had some fun, like genuine fun, it was the hardlight meta. Hardlight is this little AR that shoots these colored kind of laser beams, and they just go and they bounce off of things. So literally, you're watching a gun that's like a stormtrooper rifle in the sense of like it shoots like orange, blue, or purple depending on what element you have it set to, and literally it's fast firing, and you just see all these lasers just bouncing all over the place, and they do damage. I mean, it's funny, when you want to fucking tilt somebody.
Yeah.
But okay, I wish they would do more of this, right? So they have different game types, right? Rumble, where it's every man for himself. Teams of 5 or 6 doing this. Teams of 5 or 6 doing that. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think like they should do more like a Call of Duty, where you can have those different game types. That's fun. That's fine. But you should have like special modes, where maybe it's a no ability playlist. You don't have nades, you don't have this, you don't have that, you know what I mean? You just go in and you just play. For those who would like to do. They should have these other things, and they don't do it. The thing is this, right? And this is where I get a little, and we're going to move on from this after this, is like, they had a lot of, where Destiny 1 started.
What are they at now?
So it's Destiny 2. So they're not going to make a Destiny 3. They've announced this week that they've already have the content for the next like 3 years or so lined up and how it's going to play out.
Hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, well, hopefully. But the thing is when Destiny 1 started, right, there was things that the community wanted. private matches where we could go in with, let's say, Mark, Freddie, whoever, and we could set our own rules.
Oh, like you do on Call of Duty when you do the...
Yes. Okay. So you can do that and just have fun.
Yeah.
Right? They asked for it. We asked for it for, oh God, it seemed like 2-3 years almost. They finally announced it. You got it. And the community erupted. Like, oh my God, we did it. Boom, 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 boom. People are having fun. People like to hold their own little tournaments, right?
Yeah.
Where they do, like, we call them sweaties.
It's much fun when you get to play with your friends and stuff.
Well, but not only that, but they would do
custom games.
But, people would like to do what's called sweaties, which was basically, they had rules. Certain weapons can't be used because they were considered broken.
Okay.
Certain abilities weren't allowed to be used because they were considered broken. Certain, pieces of armor couldn't be used. They were considered broken. They came up with their own kind of like esport rule set. It was an honor thing. Like, you weren't able to use snipers that could regenerate ammo because it's not fair.
Yeah.
Not every sniper could do that. No rockets, no heavy, right? So heavy is purple, which basically means like ammo. So it does heavy damage. No heavy. Don't pick up heavy. Nobody spawns with heavy. There's only like one place. You kind of ignore it. And you just do certain things, right? Okay. And with that, they hold these rules and then they play it out. So it brings the most competitive aspect that they could for what the game is, when it's not a competitive game. So they finally do that. All of a sudden we get the Destiny 2. They took it away.
They took something that was really good.
Well, the
community liked, and
they took something that the community fought for. They wanted, and when they released their game,
that's stupid. They
left it out. It's those decisions that blow my mind. It's almost like they're their own worst enemy. How do you take something that the community wanted, and then when you release your new game, you go, that's coming later.
Yeah.
It's like,
you have
fuck
to wait
you.
You have to wait a couple of years.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's back now. It's been back for a little while. They just did these stupid choices that people, and now people say, oh, that's Activision, because Bungie and Activision used to own it together. So Activision, who does COD. So they would own it, and they would do all this stuff, and then, but then when they did this, they left it all out, right? So they said, oh, it's Activision, so Activision, why not? Bungie bought the rights from Activision. They no longer are in partnership. Bungie, 100%. Made by Bungie, it's produced by Bungie, it's created by Bungie, whatnot. That's why it used to be offered through Blizzard, because Blizzard owns Activision. Activision owns Blizzard. So they were using Battle.net to distribute the game out on computer. So now it goes through Steam. Steam is like the big C, kind of like, if you're going to download your games, they're some of the, if not the biggest one. So they had to move that over and everything else. So now they're saying, oh, well, now that we own it, you're going to see it way differently. You haven't really seen a lot to change. They did their first ever kind of live event. So basically a live event is like what Fortnite does. Where basically, we'll say 2 o'clock today, log in, go here, and you're going to see something happen. And it's the only time it's going to happen.
Okay.
So, like Travis Scott, the R&B, like the rapper.
Yeah.
Okay. He did a live event. He threw like a concert. Marshmello, he had like a concert one time. When they get ready to do their seasons, right?
Okay.
The world kind of ends and they do these crazy events where you log in and you see it.
All right.
And then, so they do that. So Twitch, so Destiny just did that now this, past week.
So hopefully you'll see a big change with the game.
Hopefully. So, but yeah, that's why. But I don't know. We'll see.
I think there's not really that many games that excite you.
I don't think there's a lot of games that excite a lot of us right now. I think that's kind of like, we go through dry
I used to watch you play Valorant. That's okay.
I really like Valorant. My thing with Valorant is if I'm gonna play
same 3 maps every fucking time.
I'll go play CS:GO.
I like when you play that. What is it? Overwatch? Was it Overwatch?
I don't think have you seen me play Overwatch? I don't know. It might be. I mean, I love Overwatch. The problem with Overwatch, it's a toxic game.
Why is that?
The people in the game are just toxic as shit. You go into a game like that, and next thing you know, somebody's dropping the hard R. And you're like, ugh. Mm-hmm. And as a streamer, it's a pain in the ass.
Correct. Yes.
So, Turtle said also people wanted esports Destiny, and they finally got custom games to do it, but then screwed everyone in D2. True. I also think, though, look, that game was never intended to be a esports game. It's not built to be an esports game. They don't have different.
When I think of esports game, I think of like NBA, 2K,
Okay.
Madden.
So you're right; those were first.
FIFA.
But esports games are also COD. COD is a huge esports game.
Really?
Oh yeah,
know that.
oh yeah. The money that
I really
you make
didn't
on
know that.
Overwatch is huge. Overwatch was being shown on TV. CS:GO was shown on TBS when TBS was doing E League. Those bring in crazy. You know what also brings in crazy money in the esports? Fighting games.
Oh yeah, you got they stopped making boxing games now. It's
Yeah,
not a boxing game you can get.
Yeah, but boxing never was that big in terms of esports. I'm saying
I loved it.
I know, but I'm saying like Street Fighter is a huge one.
Okay.
Super Smash Brothers is another huge one.
game.
No, not UFC's not big in terms of esports.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
So
I know what games you're trying to say.
Well, yeah, you'll see like Dragon Ball, that what is it, Xenoverse or whatever? I can't remember the name of it. That fighting game has taken off. It's such a smooth game. The transition from fighting to when they do like special abilities.
Okay.
Where if you hit like I don't know the term in that game, but let's say you hit like one of your ultra combos, when you land it, the screen will like all of a sudden it'll go like from like the flat kind of platform to like a changed angle, and all of a sudden it cuts into like CG kind of like a animated video, but it's the anime, and the transition's almost like you can't tell the difference. You just kind of see like all of a sudden they're ba 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 ba, and then all of a sudden he hits the one and he goes ba ba, and it's just they really did a really good job on executing that game. But yeah, no, esports is huge now. It's getting bigger and bigger. But
well, I heard that they're thinking about because there's a lot of teams. I've heard about colleges maybe dipping into
colleges They're already doing it.
It's incredible to think about it.
I know we never had that shit when we were younger.
No, like, who'd ever told you? Growing up in the early '90s.
I was gonna say '80s, dude. You better relax there. They're gonna think we're old.
Early '90s, like, you could play video games, and that could be a career.
Yeah, no, I mean it's
who would have never thought?
Yeah,
I would have never thought that.
You can get scholarships now. There's more and more teams in
high schools are starting to form.
Yep.
My nephew was telling me.
Yep.
I couldn't believe this. Colleges are giving actual scholarships to come and play games at their. It's crazy.
Because you got to look at it this way, right? People think college is just school. School is a business.
Correct.
School is a business, right? And what do you want? You, as a business, you want to make as much money as you can. That's why there's all this fighting about how should college athletes get paid. I know, you probably don't believe that they should.
I don't think they should.
I think they should. I think they should.
They're getting a free education.
Well, they're getting a free education, sure, but they're also going out there and they're putting that school on the map. Think about it. It's no different than when a team gets it's like when a team scouts for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Team wants to pick up a let's say a Peyton Manning, right? They want to pick up a Tom Brady, right? So does the college before they get there, right? Now that kid's sure, but a kid at that caliber, right? You're getting a free ride no matter where you go.
Correct.
So it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But if you go to a team and you're going to bring them a championship, that school's getting more money now. They're getting more money on because of you.
Correct. They also get money for you, but they're not using their likeness. Like the NCAA, the video game, they took off the market because you couldn't use names in that game.
But because you can't license somebody that's not getting paid.
Correct. But also, I think is you're getting a free education. Some of the athletes hopefully take it serious enough where they go back for the fourth get a degree because let's be honest, playing in the NFL or the MLB is the real deal. I know a couple people that play in the NFL. It's a totally different level. When you move from college to the NFL.
Well, but it's a totally different level. But on top of that too is you got to keep in mind is what about you get there, right? And a couple things happen. Maybe you're Division I in college, but you're third string in the NFL because it's a totally different.
Or
you ever watch?
You get hurt and your career's over. Now you have some of those athletes have things to fall back on.
Well, that's what I was going to also say was exactly that point. But think about it this way: you ever see how some of these players in college look,
Yeah.
and then physically what they look like in the NFL?
Oh yeah. Dude.
I'm talking like you're seeing your linemen go up like 30 pounds.
Well, not even that.
And they're just bigger. You know what I mean?
We used to listen. We're from North Jersey, so Brian Cushing used to play for the Texans. I used to see in the gym, and then he went to UFC, and he came back after his first year UFC, and it was like,
It's
what
like,
the fuck?
What's in the water?
It's a totally different. And then I remember seeing him in the gym when he was getting ready for the Combine, and then the difference between after the Combine, it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
they're like a different kind of.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's the water, it's the food, I don't know. But that's what I was gonna say. There's people who, look at my buddy Phil. So my buddy Phil was going to go for baseball. Through at his best, probably like 94 miles an hour. He was accurate, he was this, blah blah blah. And when we were younger, when we were kids, and Phil was just kind of like, I guess they had just graduated or whatnot, and he was going, or maybe he was still in high school, he was like a senior or something like that. We would talk in the backyard. Because at that point, I was like 21. They were like 18, 19. And I said, what are you going to do? He's like, what do you mean? I'm going for baseball. When Phil is only as tall and as big as he is because of HGH, because his parents put him on it as a kid because he was tiny. Like, he went into high school, Aunt Mark said he had to have been like 4'10". I went into high school at like 5'1", which was tiny. No, I went to high school, I was like 5'1", like 103 pounds, 108 pounds. That was it. I was like, I left high school my height now, which is like, 5'7", 5'8", whatever. And I was 190, 185. And people swore up and down, oh, you must have roided, blah, blah, blah. Because I want to say it was like sophomore year to junior year. I came back and I was just like, and that was it. Well, Phil was tiny. I mean, Aunt and Mark used to joke. They said, oh, yeah, we would put him like in a trash can to mess around because they were like a year older. And they said he was just this little tiny kid. And I looked at, my senior yearbook. And you see Phil, and he's just got like this, I think he had almost like a, kind of like a mushroom, kind of like shave under friggin' haircut.
Sorry.
It's all right. And he just tiny. He just looked tiny. And I was just like, oh my God, that was Phil? Now Phil's like 6'4". You know what I mean? 6'2", somewhere around there. I mean, he's a tall guy. And you would look at him, he's not big and muscular. He ended up getting, I said to him, what are you going to do? And he said, oh, well, if I don't get a baseball, I'm going to open up a Domino's. I said, that's it. We're just going to come up with like $200,000 to franchise the Domino's. Yeah, I said, oh, it's that easy. I used to break his balls all the time and say to him, I said, what are you going to do, though, if it doesn't take off? It'll take off. I said, it's good to want, but you got to have a backup plan. What are you going to do? Or I said, what are you going to do? God forbid you get there and you get hurt. Well, why would you say that? I said, because you have to be mindful of this stuff. Unfortunately, Phil, before he could make it, Phil got Tommy John. So he got Tommy John. He went and had the surgery done. Now, the thing with Tommy John, for those you don't know, it takes place right here in your elbow. What they do is, Tommy John, my mom's cousin had it. He played for the Cleveland Indians. Tommy Waddell. Probably like back in the maybe early mid-90s. That was my mom's cousin. So what happened was, so with Tommy John, one of two things happens. You either come back, if not better, or you don't come back. So Phil came back, and he was... The problem with Phil is Phil was kind of taught... I don't know if he was taught wrong or not. I don't think I'm one to say I can't throw 90-something miles an hour. But if you watch how Phil releases, Phil releases like this. He kind of throws sidearm. He's not really over the head.
Yeah.
But it's how he throws. Well, what happened was he was going, he's getting back and blah, 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 blah. And he was going to, at the time, he was going to somewhere in Palisades, Pal Park, like a college out there. Then he ended up going, I think, to like not Sacred Heart. Might have been Sacred Heart or something like that.
Because they're really good. They're really good baseball.
Yeah, so he ended up going there, and then he was playing, and blah 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 blah, and scouts were coming, and I also said to him too. I said, "What happens if the scouts come and you just have an off day? Make their know, and you might not see it." I mean, I'm like, there's probably ball players out there in any sport who probably are better than a lot of professionals that are in there right now, but it was just wrong place, wrong time, bad day, something, whatever, and they're just like, this kid does. But what happened was he ended up going, and he went to whatever, and he never got drafted. So he then went into like these leagues,
minor leagues, like the Jackals,
something like that, but not. I don't even know if that level. So then he ended up going. He was going to this camp, out in like Arizona, and he was going to go out there for like a month or so. I think he went out for like a week. I think part of him was homesick, which I think he never really thought of, but his back started hurting. So now he's throwing, and his kind of back and shoulder now are hurt. And it's just he could throw, and I mean, look, I heard there are not many people that I know, if any, other than him, who can throw 94 miles an hour. That I know. You know what I mean? Personally. To hear that ball come at you, the noise it makes, that and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. It is this. I don't know how baseball players do it. That now I can go to a batting cage and go and hit on the fastest whatever one, and it doesn't scare me as much because it's just a machine and it throws the same way. It is literally it's a pneumatic machine that puts velocity on. Human error, ball comes in too close, whatever. I mean, and not to say that a machine can't do that either.
No, correct.
But oh man, I give ball players credit. The fact that you stand there, I totally understand why you wear a helmet. How you're not wearing like a face mask, I don't know.
So he has to know my buddy Pat because my Pat, he got drafted multiple junior year, senior year he got drafted at high school, college.
Yep.
And then every year after that he got drafted. He got drafted his senior year of college, Washington Nationals. So about 2 years ago, for his Tommy John surgery, came back, was still throwing in the high 90s, doing great. They thought he was going to move him up. Games before he got moved up,
he didn't come back from it.
No, second time he was done. He said, "Listen, I have to get." Right now, he was 32. No, I'm sorry, he was 30. No, he was 31. He's like,
yeah.
By the time I get back, 32, and he talked to his agent and everything. Is the likelihood of them moving you up at that point?
Well, yeah, no. I mean, look, you're getting these players,
and he was getting offers to get jobs because of his major that he went to. He's like, listen, I'm losing out on money, and I had fun, and he did it since he was 24 till he was 30. So he lived and traveled the world and had a great time, and he loved being a ball player, but it was time to move on from him.
Yeah, no, that's hard. I mean, look, you're getting kids at like 23, 24.
Yeah.
You know, when you got almost
Baseball's
10 years
totally
on
fun.
Well, all of them, dude. It's all of them. It's football too, though. You got to remember, guys like Brady, guys like Peyton, guys like Favre. You know what I mean?
Brady was not even a thought. The draft. They just picked him up in the 7th round, but he was a nobody.
I know, but I'm just saying.
And you watched his Columbine thing. Lanky, he could barely run. You didn't think he was going to be that great. Well, I hate to say it, I'm a diehard Jet fan, but he's. He's one of the greatest of all time.
But that's why I'm also curious to see what happens now. When you don't have New England's O-line there to make you look good.
Not even that, but they even had a bad. I think it was him and Bill Belichick, man.
Yeah, well, no, and I'm not saying. I'm just curious to see, but it's gonna be hard too. Why he's what is he 41, right?
I think so.
So if we should have football this year,
he's got his boy back, Gronk. I don't know why.
I don't know how the hell
New England would just take. What I think it was a 6th or 7th round pick.
He would retire. How he doesn't get how that's legal? I don't know.
No, because they brought him back. He was a team. When you retire from a team, apparently they still own the rights to you. Like, so let's just say if Andrew Luck comes back, he has to play for the Colts, unless, for instance, they trade him.
Oh, they trade him. Okay.
Just like how it worked.
But my whole thing is like, how do you retire and then all of a sudden Brady moves, he goes to wherever, and then he was like, I'm coming back, and then like, all right, we're trading you there.
I think he was I think he was so. He took such a beating,
Yeah.
Gronkowski, and I think his elbow is not right.
Okay.
And I think he was like, "Let me see. Let me take my time. Let me enjoy my money. I'm young."
Yeah.
He's what is he? Is he even 30 yet?
Gronk, I don't even think he's 30 yet.
Let me enjoy my life. I made my money. He's a Hall of Famer, no matter what. And he said, "You know what? Let me see." And then he found Brady. Like, listen, get to play for Bruce Arians, one of the greatest coaches.
I think
as a man, as a great coach, everybody talks about him.
I think I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens with his O line. Now, not having that and seeing what happens, I don't know. VT says might have his best overall receiving core,
100%.
top to bottom, but no longer has the arm most likely. Like I said, I'm curious to see that. I'm curious to see what it's like when you don't have an O line. Look,
just watch how he was when he had a good receiving core. When he had Randy Moss,
Yeah.
I hate to say, I hate the. With all my fucking might.
Well, I'm a Giants fan, and like I said, people will blame Eli. People will blame Eli, right, Manning for whatever, right? And the thing is this, though, you can't. Is Eli Tom Brady? He's not, and I think every Giants fan can admit that. But he still brought us 2 rings. He is Tom Brady's kryptonite, though, right? Look, I don't think you'll ever see a team go undefeated again for that reason. I think what it does, like, think about it. Could you imagine going undefeated your entire season? The playoffs. You're literally 18-0, and you lose in the Super Bowl. To, like, I think the Giants wild card in that year. I don't quote me on that, but I think I mean there was nothing like, oh my God, you know what I mean? And then you lose.
I was a big Eli fan.
I just think he's a good dude.
Even being a Jet fan, I was a big fan of him. He was calm, cool, and collected.
Yep.
He made the right throws. He made the proper throws. He didn't. He wouldn't get frazzled, and if he did get frazzled, he was over it by the next time, by the next series.
Yeah, I don't know if he will say he never made bad throws. I mean, he did have a pretty high
he had some bad throws.
interception.
But I'm just saying is he would get over it fast and be able to make good plays.
Yeah.
He was
good under pressure.
Under pressure was where he showed his real colors.
Yeah. He was a good under pressure player. The thing though
he
is
gave you 2 Super Bowls.
No, well that's what I'm saying. But I think also the thing is this. Our O-line is fucking trash, dude. It's trash. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just look at when you have somebody like Eli, when people go, he's done, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's not just him. If you can't keep players off of him,
right,
you can't blame him for that.
Correct. And he wasn't getting any time.
Yeah. So
he was getting three-step drop by the time he went to look for his receivers. He was getting.
And you can see him get frustrated where he like shakes his head. People go, "Oh, Eli holding on to the ball."
Correct.
Look, he can't force people to be open, just like he can't force people to protect his ass. He can whatever, but that's why we say you can't just say it was Eli. Yes, Eli is not his brother in terms of playing.
The defense weren't the best. Let's be honest. You had a lot of holes in your defense. Yeah. Listen, you need a great defense. Defense wins championships. I'm not being biased because I play defense, but I'm just saying they win championships.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the end of the year.
Turtle said, didn't they play the Giants the last game of the season and then lose to them in the Super Bowl? I don't remember how it played out. You might be right. You're talking like 13 years ago.
What is he saying?
He's saying is that year when the Patriots were undefeated, right? Mm-hmm. The last game of their season, right? Just the season, they beat the Giants. Then
I think they beat them in regular season.
Yeah, that's what
that year, but I don't know if it was the last game. But then they beat. Yeah.
But that's what he said. He goes, wasn't their last game of the regular season against the Giants? They beat them.
Yeah.
They go to the playoffs, right? We go to the playoffs as well, right? Whatever happens throughout the playoffs, obviously they all win because they make it to the Super Bowl, and then the Giants beat them. So, but that's what I'm saying. I think from a stat of in the sense of like, I don't think a team will ever try to go undefeated again like that. Because the embarrassment that they suffered to go 18, talking all this shit, they're going to have the perfect season. They're going to be 19-0, 19-0, 19-0, and then you go 18 wins, one giant loss.
Almost have it was San Francisco. Was it the year?
Yeah,
they were fucking nasty.
They were, but you know,
in Baltimore, I'm talking about too. Baltimore.
Oh yeah, Baltimore.
I think it might have been Baltimore. I'm thinking of.
Yeah, actually, no, it was Baltimore.
Yes. They almost went undefeated.
So, I don't know. I just look at it like, I don't think any team will ever want that pressure again because, like, yeah, it'd be great to, but when you lose that, the mob comes out. You know what I mean? And they just make fun of you, and they go, "Oh, joke this." Well, it's like look, it's like my stream. You know, anytime I do something,
Well, there's a lot of Tom Brady hate.
Yeah, well, look, I hate Tom Brady, but I hate Tom Brady. I hate Tom Brady because he's devilishly handsome.
He ruined my fucking child.
Yeah, I hate him because he's good. I hate him because
you gotta put respect on his name now.
Yeah, I hate him because he's got a handful of rings. He's Thanos. You know what I mean?
I like him more now that he's in Tampa. See ya.
Yeah, well, of course, because we don't have to worry about it.
I don't have to worry about him no more.
We don't have to worry about it. He doesn't have to. He's not going to come and haunt us anymore. I just think,
Well, he's gonna haunt you.
Yeah, well, he's always
You're a Giant fan.
I know he's always gonna haunt me.
Next time we'll see him is Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. St. Jude Dolphins were dancing in the streets that day, but that's what I'm saying. It's hard. Turtle said. I don't know. I look at it like everybody hates Tom Brady, but everybody has to respect.
Oh yes,
Tom Brady,
100%.
He's
the best to ever do it.
Yeah, why do you keep it off
I'm not
silent? Just leave it on silent.
It is on silent. I don't
No,
know
now it's on silent. You keep flipping it back, I think, in your fidgeting.
Sorry.
So, I think in that regard,
you have to respect it. There's no one that.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And John Elway even said the same thing. This guy is.
But he is
on another level.
Yeah. There's no other quarterback that has 5 rings.
Oh no. They got Joe Montana. I don't think he has 5.
I don't think Montana had 5 rings.
No. He didn't have 5 rings, but there's greats like Montana.
Yeah.
But there's also one of the best quarterbacks that never won a Super Bowl. He was one of the best top 5 quarterbacks of all time, Dan Marino. He never won a
Well, I love
and he never
Marino.
won.
I love Marino. I love Marino. So, smug face. I can't stand his smug face.
One of my favorite clips is, it's kind of fucked up to say. Listen, I'm a Jeff fan. I could say that.
Yeah.
Is when you ever seen the E60 where he talks about how he wasn't getting drafted and he went and he played baseball and he started crying on the camera and I laughed at it.
Who?
Tom Brady.
Oh yeah.
He was so frustrated that him and his dad went down to hit baseballs and stuff like that because he still wasn't drafted and it was like almost close to the last round and he started crying and stuff like that. Listen, if Tom Brady ever sees this, I only laughed about it because you fucked my childhood up. I'm a diehard Jet fan. I've loved the Jets since I was a kid. I used to have season tickets. I used to go to every home game, starting from 7th grade till we lost it with the new stadium because they wanted my dad to pay $25,000 a seat, and we had 4 of them, for a PSL for each seat.
Yeah,
and then on top of it, we wouldn't own the seat. We'd share it with a Giant fan.
I don't know. My favorite thing about Tom Brady is when his wife Giselle says he can't throw and catch the ball. I was just like,
yeah. And that's another thing that would, because if my wife did that, I'd be mad at her too. Time and a place to say something.
Yeah.
And it's not your point to step up and say it. You know what I mean? You're not a part of the team.
Yeah. You
didn't play the fucking game. You didn't. You know what I mean?
I think it's funny. I think in that regard was one of my favorite things to ever hear. It was just like, oh man, if you had just a little bit longer,
correct,
just kept it quiet.
So you're a Giant fan.
I am a Giant fan.
Guys, to get back to that, the PSL was so high.
Yeah. Well,
that my dad's like, what are you coming? $100,000 just for a PSL? He goes, and then he's like, all right, what if we move down? And then he wanted to move us up. We had great seats in the old Giant Stadium, which was Giant Stadium. I'll give you props. I love that stadium.
It should be Giant Stadium now. We beat you the first game.
Okay, but that
look, we should have did this instead of MetLife. We should have said, all right, we're gonna play the first game, right? Winner gets the stadium name, and then that's it. You know what I mean? And then boom, you could have had Jet Stadium. You wouldn't have because we beat you.
No, but I know. Listen, no, hold on. But we had a great stadium. We had great seats, man. Ours was the 50-yard line.
Do you like the new one or the old one?
I love the old one. More bad. Even with the turnstiles, the old one, the old Giant Stadium.
What's your biggest complaint about our new stadium?
I think it moves too much. I think they took the regular Joe or the blue collar guy out of a game. I don't want to fucking go to a game and have a fucking sushi.
So you don't
make give me a hot dog, give me a knish, give me a fucking hamburger, maybe a little Carvel. That's it, and move on from the fucking situation. I got so pissed the first game I went there opening day with the Jet game, and two guys sat in front of me were wearing fucking suits. And it took the regular guy to the game. They complained that we were yelling and stuff like that and that we were drinking too much. Called the Yellow Jacket. I almost got kicked out. because they said I was over drinking. Like,
Were you over drinking?
No. Oh yeah, really? Because I tailgate. Yeah, 100%. But
Like, yeah.
if you look nowadays,
I think
when my parents used to be able to take me, or you were able to take to an event, it didn't cost you an arm and a leg.
But that's everywhere, dude. That's everywhere. That's not just football.
No, I'm not saying.
Baseball,
I'm saying all that. Even the Yankee Stadium. We can talk about Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium is like walking through a fucking museum. If anybody's ever been there.
But do you like that or do you hate that?
I don't like that.
I like that.
I like to be more close. Like Giant Stadium was gritty, old.
No. I'm saying I like the Yankee Stadium because it's the Yankees, right?
Yeah, okay.
And there's no other baseball team like the Yankees. And I get it. You guys are going to probably hate on the Yankees. You're going to call us. Look, we're from North Jersey. I mean, we don't have a baseball team. For me, I think when you're the Yankees, like every kid growing up, most of them are like, what do you want to do? I want to go play for the Yankees, right? I think you have to acknowledge that. And that's why I'm okay. I agree with you with Giant Stadium. I do like the old Giant Stadium way better.
Way better. The better view, I think, and you feel more like I was in the top row, 50-yard line, second row.
Yeah.
That was our season tickets. I didn't miss any games. You could see the whole thing. And they were affordable. I think they were $1,000 to $900 for 2 tickets.
Okay.
So it was 4. So my dad paid like $2,100 something for 4 seats. It was reasonable. Even when my brother went from the Bon Jovi concert, that was the first thing that ever had at that stadium. You know
you're Jersey when you hear Bon Jovi.
He calls me and goes, because I worked on that job, I helped build it.
Okay.
He goes, "What's going on?" I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "The fucking building's shaking." I said, "What do you expect when you build on swamp? That's all swamp area."
Yeah.
And it was bad, and you could see stress cracks in it. I just think it was took a regular Joe out of a game to make it corporate. I don't like that.
I don't think it's
you can't afford it.
I think it's not necessarily to make it corporate. I think it's to pay for the fucking stadium. You know what I mean? 100%. They got to make their money back now. Look, that's why, like, I always say, with the way TVs are nowadays, the best seat is in your house. Because I get it. The experience, right? The aura. Yeah.
It's like a different level.
But it's so, look, if you want to go with your friends, maybe once a year, fine. Because you're not going to get that exposure. You're not going to get that environment anywhere else. But being there. But you better go either to tailgate where you bring your own shit. Because otherwise, not including the ticket, but what you're going to pay for like a hot dog, a beer or 2, and like a box of like Cracker Jacks, you're dropping easily like $150.
Yeah,
and then if you're somebody like me right now who's got 2 kids,
correct.
Well, now you got to buy them.
Correct.
And then they want the fucking collector's cup, and they want and next you know you're like, how much is the collector's cup? Well, the collector's cup with soda is $20. $20 for Coca-Cola. I could go buy a 3-liter bottle for $2, you know, and that's and that's what's crazy. Look, I say it like this. I love going to hockey games.
Take away the fucking gourmet food, like even at the Rock.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Sushi, you know.
Whoa. I was gonna make that point. That is a different experience. To pay $250, right? I won't do it. But if we get free tickets that are in the black seats, or maybe you get the 50% off because maybe a game had to get canceled for whatever, and you can get a ticket like that for the $125 for $125, it's fucking worth it. Why? Unlimited drinks, except for alcohol. Unlimited food. Card mixage, stuff like that. That is a different experience. That's why they're the black seats, right? They're the club seats. Not $250. You have to like not eat for the day.
Correct.
I mean, the seats are the seats. They're great seats. Why they're center ice? They're $250 unless you get like they're $250 wherever. But because it's the first 3 sections, or I believe, of center ice. So you're dead center, the one to the left, one to the right, I believe, on both sides.
All right.
So you're getting like kind of the best thing. But it's I don't know. I think with that, it's just again, but I get it. There's all these different restaurants in there now.
Yeah, it's
like
and then even in Giant Stadium,
MetLife.
We call it Giant Stadium because listen, it's been called Giant Stadium forever.
Yeah,
the MetLife Stadium is the new thing, but there's a fucking separate bar that's not owned by an owner that rents out.
I don't
like what the fuck. I go there for the tailgate. And if a game is at 1:00, I'm waiting online to go in with my buddy Stevie at 7 in the morning, and we're tailgating truck. We bottles of Jameson. Everybody's coming. So if it's a 4:00 game, they don't let you in till 9:00, and we sit there, we drink, we tailgate, we eat good food, have a good time, And that's the great experience because listen, we're 10 minutes away from.
Yeah, we are.
So
I don't
why
know.
another thing is why the Devils leave guys on center, which was Continental Arena. They could have just rebuilt it on there. It was great there.
I think it was just more they wanted to look. Newark has come a long way from what it used to be to what it is now in the sense of just development, business. I mean, look, business is coming back to Newark. I think that was just they got paid.
Or they got a tax break.
Yeah, to go to
It's a
Newark.
beautiful stadium.
It is a beautiful arena. The problem is too, though, it's the same thing. You go in there and you're looking at a beer. You're not touching a beer for like less than like $12.
Correct.
So it's fucking crazy to me. It's crazy to me that the upcharge on that. I'd rather just go. Like one time, Ian and I, we fucking tailgated at the arena. I was still working in the city. We ended up pounding 6 beers in a stairway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of a parking garage.
No, listen. It used to be before it was MetLife. It was easier.
Yeah.
So my uncle used to have a clear bag. He used to bring peanuts. In the fucking peanut bag was stuffed with beer.
Yeah.
Because he would have a couple beers for himself. They make it so hard to do that now, which is understandably, but it's so expensive. And MetLife Stadium, I don't know if it's different in like we're in Philly or wherever, because of what the Jets fans have done. They stopped serving at after half now. Used to be the third quarter, but some games like Monday nights they stopped serving at half. And I was at the game when they started. It was Jet Appreciation Night. They gave hats, and towards the fourth
How many
quarter,
people actually show up to Jet Appreciation Night?
the Monday night game, and they were lighting the fucking hats in the stadium on fire. And this is back when I was in 7th grade.
But how many people really actually show up to appreciate the Jets?
A lot of people. There's a lot of.
Are we talking like 5, 10?
Fuck off.
I'm just asking.
The best part is the Giant fans hate on the Jet fans, and the Jet fans don't even pay no attention to it.
Get the fuck out of here. You know what it is? Jet fans walk around. They got like PTSD from the Giants because they're like, everybody talks about the Giants. Nobody talks about the Jets. It's all the kids, Giants go like, I mean, seriously though, when was the last time you guys were in the Super Bowl?
One time. That's fine. Listen.
I'm just saying.
I thought, listen, there are 2 years at Rex Ryan. I really thought we had it.
I know. You guys do it every year.
I really did. Turtle said same in Philly. Halftime they stop. Yeah. Well, Philly's out of control. I've been to a 76er game. And the stadium, I can't remember the name of the stadium. You guys
fucking trashed the city when you won.
Yeah.
Like, and I always say this to her. I said, man, you guys beat the shit out of your city and you won. How do you, what happens if you guys would have lost?
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, you guys won.
Yeah.
I do like, you know what I do like though?
No, I've been to Philly for a 76ers game. And I can't remember the stadium. The arena was awesome.
Yeah. I like how they have like the 3 right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what we would have.
I know. I get what you're saying. We would have had that had they not moved.
Because the Nets were, it was the Jet Giants across the street. And across the street, the Continental was the Devils and the Nets.
Yeah, well, we lost them. So Dylan is asking in our Twitch chat right now, what is the best sports stadium in America?
That we've been to?
Or just, I mean, I guess, yeah.
They say, well, I've never been there, but apparently the Dallas Cowboys are supposed to be the greatest stadium.
Nah, dude. Nah. MSG. Nobody's touching Madison Square Garden.
Okay. No, but
Nobody's touching the Garden.
No, 100%. I love the Garden.
Look, I'm not a Ranger fan. I hate the Rangers, all this shit. But there is no arena, state, whatever you want to call it. There is nothing that is more well known than Madison Square Garden.
100%.
I mean,
I thought you were going at like craziness wise and stuff, and then like design and stuff like that. I was talking about. I thought you were talking about that. I
don't know. I think like I said, it's got to be the Garden.
Oh, Madison Square Garden. Yeah, known wise, it's the great.
I mean, you're talking. Some of the best concerts have taken place there.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest moments in wrestling have taken 100%. Place there. The hockey. I mean, it's just one of those things. If the Garden should ever go,
I don't think it.
But I'm just saying,
they keep renovating it.
I know.
Keep it up to date.
The only thing that kills me about
they're
the Garden,
very overpriced as well. Well, I heard this Rangers season tickets can be like over 110,000.
Yeah, but
it's at that point, I think that's crazy.
It's because it's the Garden. Correct. Take the Rangers out of the Garden, I don't think you would see that. Because the Rangers aren't doing anything. I'm sorry. Sorry, bro, you Ranger fans. You can talk shit about the Devils all you want. You ain't doing shit either, all right? Sure, you have more cups than us, but it's way easier to win a cup when there's only 6 teams. That's what it is. They won all their cups when there was like 5 other teams. Relax there, all right? My only thing, though, going back in all seriousness, though, to the Garden, I can't stand the lighting. I cannot stand the lighting. And I get it. Ranger fans and all that will always say, it's to keep it true to what it was, man. It's to keep it nostalgic. I go to the Garden, I sit there when I go and watch like a Devils Rangers game, and all I can think about is where the hell is Kurt Russell? Where is Kurt Russell from Miracle? Because that's literally what I feel like. I feel like I'm watching how Miracle was shot because it's supposed to shoot like it's supposed to look authentic back to what was that, the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. So it's to be authentic to that. They use the same lighting. It's like a yellow kind of lighting.
I've never been there for a hockey game. I went to see Red Hot Chili Peppers. Which is unfucking believable. I saw
Kenny Chesney there. My sister got us tickets, or whatever, or I got her tickets. She didn't end up going, so me, Aunt, and Jen went. I saw Blink 182 there.
That's a while ago.
Yeah, I saw them with Ian and Jen as well. We went there. I mean, I've seen so many different things.
There was a bucket list for my wife, and she said I surprised her for went and got Red Hot Chili Peppers. That was my first concert ever I went to. And I fucking blew my load already because it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was a great... I mean, they went hit after hit. At one point, it was doing Californication. Yeah. He had to pull the mic away. Couldn't even hear him.
Yeah. Hey, bud. I see. Your mom sent you down here, right? Man, she really knows how to keep things professional. Yeah. I understand. Babe, this is not the time. It's not time. I'm sorry. I love you. It's not time.
Joey, come on.
It's all right. Come on. Hi, bud. What's what? That's a mouse. So anyway, it's we're gonna be wrapping up anyway. So Backlash tonight.
Yeah, I don't know any of the matches. I didn't look them
I have a problem with what's it called? Joey, I'll see you in a bit. So I have a problem with the whole Charlotte Flair thing. Because Charlotte Flair is the NXT champion.
Okay.
She's challenging for the Raw or SmackDown championship. So to me, why is she going after... First off, champions never really go after other champion belts unless they're like, you're like the Intercontinental Champion or whatever. But when you're taking the belt, right, from one thing.
I don't like that.
And you're now putting them against another one.
So it's Asuka against...
I think it's Asuka versus Charlotte Flair.
So what about Bayley? I did see a picture of all three of them sitting in there. And Bayley just became the women's tag team champion. So is it a three-way?
I'm trying to see right now.
To be quite honest, nothing really shows me. I'm getting excited for tonight. I think Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre is going to be a snooze fest.
Yep.
The Edge and Randy Orton match.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to that because they're building it up. So now, listen, they're doing it in the ring. So you got to now, they got to tell this story somehow, and they got to make it look good. And you got to make it because now you've now said it was going to be the greatest match of all time.
Who do you think is going to win?
I think Edge doesn't.
I don't think he loses the match either. So this is a card tonight. So we got Edge versus Randy Orton. I'm going with Edge. We got Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley.
Snooze fest.
Drew McIntyre.
Unless because they have it came out.
You can't push him like you just did and then take the belt off.
Correct. And plus they have this whole angle where Vince, apparently from what I understand, Vince is really big on when Jinder Mahal comes, he wants to give him, because they want to go back into India to promote their WWE network.
Okay.
And what's better than having an Indian guy?
Well, that's what they did. I mean, that's why they did. That's why they got a lot of hate on that too, because they made it blatantly obvious why they did that. No, because when they were making the push in India, and the funny thing is, Jinder Mahal's from Canada. You know what I mean? And they push and they push and they push and they push, and then all of a sudden after they did that thing, they took the belt off him.
Yeah, and he's not a bad wrestler.
He's not a bad wrestler.
He went out and he got his first run was whatever.
Yeah.
And they went out and he went to the independents and he grew and got better, just like fucking Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was an afterthought. He got let go, released. He
Yeah.
went and fought and crawled, made himself better, had a chip on his shoulder, and he went into, I think it was Ring of Honor, if I'm wrong, and then he went to TNA. And from TNA, he did all the independent shows, which, listen, nowadays, back then, there wasn't that many independents because fucking Vince McMahon swallowed everything up.
Yeah, well, that's
So,
true.
Now that there's New Japan, there's TNA, which is a small product. There's other small little independents in the UK. I can't think of the names off the top of my head, but one of them is Page's family owns. Small.
Oh yeah, I know
UK.
I don't know.
Where they grab up people and they're big enough where they can pay big names to come. And then you got AEW, which AEW I really think changed the map of pro wrestling.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for AEW.
Because now there's a billionaire and a billionaire that own a company, a smart billionaire, which is Spencer. He's young. He doesn't want to go past 2 hours. He wants another. They're offering him another show, which they're going to put on.
For AEW.
Yeah, he stays in his lane. I think it's just a wholly different, even by them thinking like, listen, they put one show on when there was no fans, no audience.
True.
Well, the next time, listen, let's just get wrestlers to go out there because at least it's something.
Yeah. Now WWE's still.
But they're doing it horribly. They're making the guys stand up. They're NXT.
I feel bad. Yeah, I feel bad that they make them stand the entire thing.
Yeah, they put up all this glass, so now you think you're at a hockey arena. They're ready to play
you
hockey
have,
after
you have to do that. You have to do that.
Listen, now they fired Paul Heyman.
Well, they didn't fire him.
No, they fired him as Raw creator, and they moved him away to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And now Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah, and I never.
His brother Love, if anybody knows.
Yeah.
He's been he's a yes guy. I
Yeah,
don't care. I'll
yeah.
say he's a yes guy for Vince McMahon. So
I think so something must have changed because I'm looking at the card right now, and now it's Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley and
I like Rhea Ripley
and Shariah.
I think she's really good.
Yeah, but they changed something because I know I was seeing something and there was a lot of heat on it. So something must have changed. There was a lot of heat on it because people are saying why is she with the NXT belt trying to challenge somebody else? You're devaluing NXT, which they tried to get rid of, right? Because NXT was always supposed to be like the AAA, right?
Yeah.
And then SmackDown, Raw were the majors.
Yeah, but
right?
Hunter, at this point, at one point, I think with Hunter running the show, which I don't know if he's running it now, but he was running creative, everything like that. That
For
was
NXT,
his baby.
yes.
At one point, he was fucking beating out fucking Raw and SmackDown in the ratings.
Well, because it's just look. You could hate Triple H or whatever, and that's a whole other topic. But the guy loves this
He
industry,
lives and breathes it.
and he's smart. And if you ever watch that documentary with him from when they were talking, like showing his upbringing, I can't remember the name of it.
Oh no, it's on the
It's on the WWE network.
Yeah, I think it's the making of the game or something like that.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
So
Don't quote me on that.
So in that one, they talk about like his conversation with what's his name from WCW, Eric Bischoff.
Okay.
So Eric Bischoff, whatever, makes him like a offer or something like that, and I'm paraphrasing this, of course. So basically, he goes, "Well, why don't you pay this? I'll take this." And I think it was less. And he goes, well, "Why?" He goes, 1 year. I want it for 1 year.
Yes.
And he
if
goes,
if I don't show you enough than that, and you don't want to give me a big contract, then I know I have to do it.
Yeah. And he just said, he goes, if you don't know what I'm worth by then,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I'm going to be making a lot more. And then the next thing you know, and he went over, terrorizing.
Terrorizing, yeah.
And then he came over to WWE as something else. Like, Hunter, he came over as Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yeah.
Playing off of like the end character of he had over there. It was like Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah.
And they thought because of his last name, that he was French, and that he spoke it. He's like, no. He's like, well, so the guy like studied a bad French accent. He like channeled his like
and then he turned
Pepe Le
into
Pew.
a Greenwich snob.
Yeah, and then they turned him into a Greenwich snob, and then but you know what? It just shows the level of his, because he not only did he adapt really well, he took it's like when you get these shitty characters, right? These shitty angles that you got to try to make good, like the B team. They took the B team, and those guys did the best they could with that. You know what I mean? And that shows true talent, in my opinion, because that's a hard character to get over. When you can get those characters over, I think that's a good thing. But
I think WWE is so fucked up right now because they're scared because AEW is getting. It's like when WCW first started, they're getting that the demographic 21 to 40.
But WWE doesn't want that demographic.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
I feel like
it's getting to the point where they're bringing superstars that you've now were
I know.
the first Universal Champion and Finn Balor. You're basically going, yeah, you're gonna go back to.
But
What?
why?
Why? Oh wait, hold on. In Charlotte, you're gonna the best woman wrestler probably in this industry ever. Charlotte Flair. You're gonna go down to NXT. You're gonna hold the belt.
Why?
Because you got to compete with AEW. Now.
Exactly. Because no, they don't have anything on
Instead of
Wednesday.
staying in your fucking lane like you were, let Hunter run the show.
Yep.
Let him do his thing.
But they brought Finn Balor back, right? Something they needed something to bring attention
and
to
it
NXT.
really didn't.
They did Charlotte. No, I mean
doesn't help
they're
that
not
much.
even fucking using him.
Yeah. So now
You see what's his name? I don't know. He reminds me of like a young. He reminds me of a young Shawn Michaels.
Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his name's Adam Cole.
Yeah. So they have him, right? He's got the belt, or at least when I used to.
Yeah.
I don't watch a whole lot of NXT. I watch AEW personally.
Yeah.
Um,
I've been watching a lot
but
of it.
I mean, they got that belt on him, and I'm just like, okay. But you brought Finn in. Now I'm not saying bring Finn in and squash the guy, but
No.
you've had enough time now. It's been a year, right?
Correct.
AEW's been on for a year. There's enough time to get a story going, blah, 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 and put
He's
the belt
got
on
nothing.
Finn Balor. He doesn't have anything. I don't know.
So now you devour the guy, and I'm a big. This is a totally different fucking. I don't fucking get why they keep putting belts on part-time fucking people. The Bray Wyatt thing with the fucking
fill the
fucking
stands.
Bill Goldberg, who listen, yeah, is he a legend? Yeah, but he goes for a minute and a half, if that, in a match. So when you have Bray Wyatt, who's the Fiend, and he's hot as lightning, he just did that thing with Daniel Bryan, and they're fucking loving it. The fans are loving it. Okay, now you just go, okay, here you go, we're gonna put on him.
You squash him with the old guy that's only going to be here for
So not only
couple
did
weeks.
you shit on the theme,
Yep.
you shit on his whole series with Daniel Bryan. How is that smart fucking business? To put it on a guy that's not going to be there all the time.
I look. I don't. It's the same thing with Brock, you know. And I get it. Look, they do it to that attraction.
Vince is afraid he's going to go to the UFC.
So let him go to the UFC.
He doesn't get treated like certain people. You can watch the back. You ever watch the video where he fucking WrestleMania was so mad as when he went through the curtain, he threw the fucking belt at him.
Yeah.
Any other wrestler, he would have been suspended 90 days or
Yeah,
or
no, well, because you know, but what are you going to do anyways? How are you not going to? You know what I mean? You have to acknowledge who he is, right? Like, and I get that part, but there's just such a, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. You know, you can still have that attraction and not have to belt them. You don't have to put the belt on them because all you're doing is you're killing the story now. Look, it's like everybody knows wrestling's fake. Oh my god, wrestling's fake. Yeah. But look, I always say it's a guy soap opera in the sense. Obviously, women watch it too, but you know,
but you're devaluing your belt. You're basically telling your belt's a part-time belt.
Yeah, it's like okay, and now
so you got a guy
story.
like fucking. Let's just say.
I mean, and the story's really the same. The story's really the same. He has the belt. He doesn't show up. The person who's now in heat with him comes out and they go, "Where's Brock? He's not here.
Yeah.
He's back home. He's doing." And it's like, okay, we've heard this, and then it doesn't matter whether it's Roman Reigns, whether it's Seth Rollins, whether it's Drew McIntyre. It's the same thing. You just go there and you have to like, oh, okay. You know, and for me, I don't know. I think
okay, well, the belt's gonna go on it for a while, so now they're looking for someone to put it on.
Yeah. So
and then to the point where they're destroying, like the Randy Orton thing when Brock Lesnar wrestled him. It made Randy Orton look like a fucking took his character and fucking buried it.
Well, that's what happens when you have those types of things. But then you have somebody like you'll bury a Randy Orton, but you'll have Daniel Bryan almost beat him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
or you have like this. Oh, the build up: Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg. 2 spears, 3 spears, another spear pin. Now I blinked. We waited a year to watch it.
Yep.
It was done in a minute and a half.
Yep.
I think I went and took a piss break, and my wife was like, "The fucking walkout was longer than the match."
Yeah.
I went to go to the bathroom. I said, "Okay, it just started. I'll go to the bathroom." I literally came back and I was like, "What happened? Why does Goldberg have the belt?" It's over. He couldn't do his move either because he couldn't lift him up.
Yeah. Well,
so he had to do spear, and pick up.
I mean, look, Brock's a heavy guy. All right, he's a heavy guy. And look, you got to remember, Bill is like what 50.
He looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
listen, he did his time, but I don't get that. Why do you bring old people down when you got all these talent?
Well, there were so much tweets about that too. People were complaining and saying like, you know, way to take old generation and bury them. But I don't know. We'll see tonight. Like I said, something must have changed though. I don't know. Like I said, I've been watching here and there. It really looked like she was going after that. There was a lot of heat about it. There's a lot of people that were, you know, so do we. So somebody in Twitch chat right now is saying about that they're new here and they're grown. They love old school wrestling and then nice pipes. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Are you saying that my voice is nice? I do sing like I've been told I sound like Fergie mixed with Jesus when
I'll
I
tell
sing.
you what though, with companies now that are snapping have it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like back in the day.
The
I've
money-
been watching.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Money-
because I would record one and watch one
my
live.
arms. Oh yeah, thanks.
I would record one and watch one live. So I would come to the point like, what am I watching tonight? Or something big was up, like, okay, I'll watch Nitro.
But you only get that on Wednesday right now. At least
Yeah,
until they do
true.
this other show. Now, when do you think they're going to... Have they said when that day
Never
they're
said
picking?
that.
Are they saying Monday?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever Cody's running the show there,
Yeah.
he is making strategic moves, even into licensing names that are WWE let overlap. He's a smart man. He took a lot from information from his father.
Yeah.
And he's making right decisions. He's not just grabbing wrestlers.
No, I know.
Just
Well,
to grab
they
them.
said we're not going to be how WCW was to WWE, where they take all the talent
Correct.
that just leaves. But there are certain things. Were they smart to take the revival? Hell yeah, I love the
100%.
revival. I think they were.
And they let them repackage, and apparently they let them do what they want. Like, listen, what do you want to come in as?
Yeah.
And, and Kenny Omega's also on Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. They're big executives for the company as well, and that's great. Basically, the rest it was WCW, but the people aren't being selfish.
Yeah.
And Cody knows his lane. Like, listen, I can't be on the top all the time.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I love how we still have this truck here, by the way.
I'll step away and I'll do my own thing. I'll do a little. They're doing it right. Chris Jericho being the first champion, 100%.
Well, you needed to because Chris Jericho and his name. You know what I mean?
He totally revived himself and just again.
Yeah,
The guy's amazing.
He's probably if not the best, or one of the best. If he's not the best, reinvented.
Reinventing himself.
Yeah, like he's
He went from
one of the best. Yeah,
he pulled the list thing out of his ass, did it, blew up,
the list. You just made the list.
and then he makes El Champion and made that onto another level.
I think Chris Jericho is better. I do love him as a face, like a baby face.
Yeah.
But he's such a damn good heel. He's like the anti-hero. You know what I mean? He's like how Stone Cold was. Yes, he was a heel, but he was a heel that everybody loved. You know, and that's why wrestlers always say, and this is where I think we're going to wrap it up here. Wrestlers love to be a babyface. Why? Because babyfaces the fans are normally behind them. They're not getting booed, and
it's easy to be a baby.
But the merch. So wrestlers have their contract, right? But wrestlers really make a lot of their money in house shows and merchandise sales and special events, right? So when you're a face, right? When you're a baby face and people are praising you, kids want your merch, right? Because they're like, yeah, you know what I mean? That's why a lot of we said this too. This is why a lot of wrestlers hate John Cena. Why? John Cena never was a heel.
Can't be.
He's never been a heel.
Can't.
So his entire, let's say, I don't know, 15, 20 years. How long has he been? He's been
about that, yeah.
2000.
I think he was hot for like 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something.
Whatever. We'll say for the past
Can't
15
be
years.
Vince wouldn't
Well, I don't think it's that. I also think, it's just, but he's always a babyface. So his merch is always on sale. When you go heel, right, your sales drop. Why? Because the crowd's booing you. They're meant to now that's why you become heel, right? And then you eventually come back to a babyface, and that's why you see guys like Seth Rollins and whatnot. Seth Rollins, of course, he's a heel. Why? He's a good heel. When he's a heel, you fucking hate him.
Yeah. You always
Stone Cold, everybody loves Stone Cold. Stone Cold would come out, he'd flip the corporation off. He'd hit him with a stunner or something like that. Drive a beer truck in. He was a heel, but he was the heel that everybody loved. So his merch sales were through the roof. He also has one of the best shirts ever. Austin 316, done. That's it.
Yep.
A very basic shirt.
That's a great story to talk about.
Yeah.
I watched how he pulled that out of his ass, though.
We'll maybe do that
we'll do
on
another
another
time.
one. But I think it's like I said. I think when you're like that, the sales are there, and somebody like Jericho, he's a great heel, but he's a heel that you love. When he comes out, he's like, the El Champion,
Yeah.
a little bit bubbly. You're like,
he reinvented himself with. I forgot that. What's the name of his group?
Y2J?
No, his new group that he has.
I can't think of it.
Not
Not the Elite. because the Elite is the other one. They're the
I can't think of it. But,
God.
like, it was smart that he, and even with his documentaries that he's doing, he's
Yeah.
he's a producer for the Dark Side of the Ring. He's a producer for all those plays.
Oh yeah. Well, look, he's on radio. He's Inner Circle. The Inner Circle.
He pulls the shit.
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
his
I mean,
ass.
and that's a great name, Inner
Yeah.
Circle. Like you got All Elite, and we're the Inner Circle, and then you have all the other ones. But he's just look. He's got when it comes to entertainment. I like his music. Some of his music, I'm a big fan
I've
of. Some
never
of
heard
it. Oh, Fozzie's pretty good. I like Fozzie. Some of their songs, before DMCA happened, we used to listen to him. But he's got a great radio show on Octane. He's got his podcast. He's just he gets content and how to make good content. But DK in my Twitch chat, she's asking, what do you think about UFC and wrestling people going in and out? I mean, I think that's okay. I think the problem is this. WWE, obviously, when you take something that's real, UFC is real, right? We all know it's real. People are beating the crap out of each other, and it's an art, and it's a discipline and all that. You can't send them, though, into the WWE and make them be a jobber, right? They got to come in, they got to kick ass. So when they're coming over to professional wrestling, right? And it is professional wrestling. I'm not a sports entertainment guy. I'm a professional wrestler. It's professional wrestling.
I don't like Superstar.
Yeah.
He's a pro wrestler.
So when they come over, of course they're gonna have to kick ass, right? They have to. What do you do, right? You can't make them look, because people are just gonna be like, what are you doing, right? But I also think it's kind of funny when you have guys like Bobby Lashley. When he went over, he had a decent career. But then look at CM Punk. CM Punk went out there and.
I think Dana White loves it because the simple fact is, when a UFC guy goes to the WWE, yes, you got to make.
Yeah.
When a fucking WWE guy goes over to the UFC, you got to understand, a lot of these fighters are not promoters.
Yeah.
You make a name for yourself at the WWE. That's your process to learn to promote yourself.
Yeah.
CM Punk went over. He was hot as lightning. People watched his first fight, even though he lost.
He lost. He's
lost bad.
He hasn't won yet.
I know, but I'm just saying is. They love him for that.
Yeah.
When Brock Lesnar left and went back to the UFC, he brought all the fans from the WWE there.
Well, I remember when Brock first went over, and this is when I saw Brock had that stupid sword. And please don't hurt me, Brock. He had that stupid sword with the like brass knuckle at the end, and I was just like, what did he do? And I remember Dana saying he'll never fight in the UFC. He won't. The UFC is for real fighters. First off, look. Brock Lesnar, I'll leave it at this. This is where we're going to finally wrap it up. You cannot argue Brock Lesnar's ability. He is a Division I NCAA champion. The guy can wrestle. He can wrestle. The guy is also a monster.
Fucking freak.
What he has to eat to stay at his size, because the way he trains on it, he says, if I stop eating, he goes, the muscle just start, well, not the muscle, but the weight just starts falling off of him. The guy sits down when he eat, or used to. Maybe this, we're talking when he was younger. Maybe that's changed now because he's like almost 40.
I would imagine close to
I think he's like high 30s. I think he's like 37, 38. But he would eat like 5 cheeseburgers. And I'm talking like big cheeseburgers sitting there, and that was his lunch. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, he went there and he got caught in a heel hook. You know, it kind of not humbled him. It pissed him off. He didn't, because as a wrestler, you can't get like, you're taught when you're on your back, panic. When you get into jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, you almost prefer, in many ways, depending on your style, to be on your back, because you have so many different guards that you can pull and stuff like that. Look, Frank Mir, black belt jiu-jitsu, a real deal guy, caught him in a heel hook. Brock Lesnar went, okay, I lost, whatever, fine, yada yada yada. He went out, he trained, he came back, he fought a couple guys, slugged them, got his rematch with Frank Mir. Frank Mir came out talking all this shit, I'm going to do it again, blah, blah, blah. If you look at the picture where Frank Mir goes like this and he looks over after they stop the fight, he looked like the Crypt Keeper. You know what I mean? He literally looked like the Crypt Keeper. His face was all blotchy and bumpy, and he looked like he had an allergic reaction to like a bee sting.
He got fucked up.
And Brock Lesnar just
beat the shit out of him.
And it wasn't even hard punches. He took the side and he just kept doing this. Just getting these little things in. And he ended up fucking, look, he took it with Randy Couture. I mean, look, you can say what you want. He came back. He is a fighter. He's a wrestler. He learned to do a little bit more stand-up. And I mean, look, he had a really, really good career You know what I mean? In the UFC. And I think you have to take that seriously. Now, when a wrestler does that, that's great for both sports, you know, or both entertainment, right? Professional wrestling and UFC. So, I don't know. I kind of cringe when more WWE wrestlers go over, but...
True. Hey, listen, the fucking guy from AEW,
Oh, you're talking about Jack Swagger?
Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
He's
I can't think of his name either.
Holy shit. I don't know his
Yeah,
name.
he did pretty well
He's
too, man.
undefeated still.
Yeah.
He's still fighting in there.
Is he still fighting?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
AEW is still letting him fight.
Oh, that's cool.
He's
That's
I
cool.
think he's 3-0. I could be wrong. I gotta think of his name.
But he's a wrestler too. I think he has a wrestling background.
He was wrestling. He tried to get into the...
All right. Well, Backlash tonight. I'll be watching. You'll be watching. We'll see if we're right. So, where can anybody find you? TikTok, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get that ready.
I'm here a lot.
All right. So I'm probably over 9,000, Matt.
I'm Brian.
You can find me on Twitch pretty much almost daily. Twitch.tv/probably over 9,000. Instagram is probably over 9,000. I have a link in the comment section below. In the description below, where you can find us and whatnot. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that. We're gonna head out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and doing all that stuff. This is episode 2. A lot of sports talk, but I don't mind that. That was a good one today. It's hot, and I'm gonna go leave this room so I can finally fart because I didn't want to punish Schultze all day.
He farted before the thing.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you're watching here on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe, comment, click the bell. That way you know notifications, stuff like that. Thank you for watching me on Twitch. If you resubbed and did stuff today, we turn off the alerts for this because this will be more podcast format in the sense of when it goes out to Spotify and iTunes, when I figure out how to do all that, because I'm an IT guy, but I've never done that before. So you might be already listening, and if you're listening in here, thanks, appreciate you.
Enjoy your Sunday.
Yeah, and
go outside. It's nice out.
Schultze's putting out
maybe a little thirsty.
Yeah,
want to have a little drink?
Little Voodoo Ranger, because if you're not drinking Voodoo, you're drinking doo-doo. All right, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.